Hello everyone and welcome back. We're in Allan's Sweet and Spicy ending today. Our story starts here, I think is what it said. Since it looks like this, and he's not in the bottom right corner, I'm assuming it's not from her perspective, or it is from her perspective and not his. But hopefully something is resolved today because it says our story starts here. So I literally feel like that it has ended in the middle of their story. Like, imagine in Jupiter's story, he turns into Chi after they save everyone on the planet. He turns into Chi, he gets lost in the snow, and she can't find him anymore, and that's where it ended. That's basically what happened in Allan's story. She's dead. He's trying to get her back to the surface, and there's this person talking to him. I still don't know what they said, by the way, because I haven't been able to translate it, but that's where it ended, where it's like, does she live? Does Allan die down here? Like, I don't know what's going on. What was Sylvie talking about? Why did Sylvie go berserk? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully all those will be resolved today. We have like 4 endings to go through. We have the sweet and spicy end, spicy, the sweet, a bad end, and there was something else too. Let me bring up Allan real quick. My computer decided it wanted to close all my tabs, and I don't know why. It always does this. So sweet and spicy, sweet, spicy, sweet, bitter end, and the bad end. Well, we're not going to do the bad end last, so we're going to, should I end with the sweet bitter end? I think bitter end is, I think it's going to have someone dying. Like, it's going to be happy, but at someone's expense. So we're going to do the sweet and spicy, obviously, because that's first. And then we're going to do the bad end. And then they all unlock a CG, so I don't know what to do. You know what? Maybe we should just save the sweet and spicy ends for later. So we'll do the sweet bitter end first, and then we'll do the sweet and the spicy, and those should end well, right? It can't end poorly, I don't think. So, all right. Allan says, your tricks won't work on me. Allan shouted seemingly at nothing. There must have been a voice only he could hear, trying to deceive him. No matter what I said, he couldn't hear me. Jack-o'-lantern wasn't here after all. Allan, calm down, I'm here.
そうだ。そんなことない。さっき確かに俺は彼女の声を聞いた。
Yes, keep it up.
振り返るもんか。
Yes, don't turn back. You better not. Keep looking ahead, alright?
ねえ、今コントみたいなこと言ってないよね。振り返るための振りじゃないよね。
Allan's going insane. Allan shouldn't be able to hear my voice, but it sounded like we were joking with each other. We climbed step by step, trusting each other completely. I never imagined the surface would be so distant. The surroundings looked so identical that I worried I might never reach the surface. It felt like we were endlessly circling the same spot. How many days had we been here? With each ascending step, I almost tripped and fell. I forced my faltering legs to continue moving. I had counted each step, but by the time I reached 1,000, I stopped. The climb felt endless, especially without being able to talk to each other or reassure him that I was okay. Yet anything with a beginning also has an end. At last, I saw the light of the surface. Yay!
地上だ。
Really pretty, isn't it? Allan's face illuminated with hope as he realized the end was near. I sensed the tension leaving his body. Allan, don't turn around, okay? It seemed he might turn, so I pushed him with all my might. Stay focused, don't turn around. Though my hands couldn't touch him, he seemed to sense my warning and tensed up again.
こういう時こそ気を引き締めないとな。
That's the spirit. Resisting the urge to sprint, Allan approached cautiously, step by step. I tried to match his pace. 3 steps to go, then 2, finally the last one. Oh, they're on the beach. You made it. We passed through the underworld's gate and emerged in the human realm. Allan and I had made it out together. Allan, thank goodness we've made it back.
よかった。君が生き返って。
Now, what did he sacrifice to bring you back to life, I wonder? I heard him speak, so I turned around. Allan was standing on the very last step of the stairway. You better stay. You better not be stuck. Seeing me bask in the sun, Allan smiled.
ねえ、リネット。聞いてほしいことがあるんだ。
Here it is. The moment of truth. Huh? I could hear the soft waves of the sea. For some reason, his eyes were filled with sadness.
俺は君を愛しているよ。たとえどんなことがあっても、それだけは揺るがない。だから忘れないでほしいんだ。俺の気持ちは天使だった頃から変わらない。うん。あの頃以上に君を愛しているんだって。
The more he talks, the more upset I'm getting. Allan? The sadness in his smile didn't fade as he climbed that final step. The moment he stepped beyond the... Oh, look at his face. The moment he stepped beyond the border like I did, the gate behind him disappeared. We managed to come back together. This should have been a happy moment, so why did Allan look so anxious? Did he forget about her? Did he had to sacrifice his memories to save her? Allan? He didn't say anything. He just approached me silently to embrace me. After he released me, he finally spoke up. I read his lips as he mouthed the words, "I'm so glad we're back." Did he lose his voice? This is like the Little Mermaid. He had to sacrifice his voice. You know what? Did he read the Little Mermaid tale to her once? That was when the moment hit me. I realized the price he had to pay to Satan. But he offered. When I looked at him, it was like we were angels in heaven once more. He's so adorable, and he's blonde. Oh my goodness. Oh, but look at him. He's so cute. His eyes were blue. It's a totally different person. I recall the time when our eyes and expressions spoke for us. Like an angel, Allan could not speak. His face made the same expressions as he did back then. He looked both sad and frustrated. It seemed he wanted to express the fullness of his love for me, but just couldn't. I thought about the days he made me flower crowns when we danced together in the clouds. We used to hold hands and fly through the skies. Even though we didn't speak a single word, I enjoyed every day together with him. Because we were paired angels, we could understand one another with only a single glance. That was when I knew he bore that expression because he lost his voice. When Allan came to the underworld, he mentioned that he'd made a deal with Satan. That must mean... Allan, did you sacrifice your voice to bring me back from the underworld? Resurrecting the dead was against the rules of the world. Even Orpheus couldn't do it. Allan had succeeded, but at a great cost. He had to pay a fair price for it. It was like the Little Mermaid who made an offering to the Sea Witch. In response to my question, all Allan could do was nod. You know, for a sweet and spicy, this isn't very good. Why does he have to not talk? The only thing that's voice acted in this game is Allan, and now now he doesn't speak anymore. I see. Thank you, Allan. You sacrificed so much to bring me back. When I was in the underworld, I wanted to see him again no matter what. If our roles were reversed, I would have made the same sacrifice. Thinking that, I embraced Allan and whispered into his ear. Everything's okay, Allan. It will be like it was in heaven. Even with his words gone, we understood one another deeply. We were paired angels after all. I tried to reassure him, but the moment I saw his eyes, my smile broke. I knew he could sense my distress. I had to stay strong. If I cried, it would only cause him more pain. I told myself it was just a return to our past. Allan pulled away. His lips formed in an audible "I'm sorry." I could see his lips move, but that familiar voice was gone. His voice was lost. It was no use. He'd been through this before, yet it still felt so sad. I buried my face into his chest and started to cry. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
ごめん、リネット。ごめんね。
The voice of my beloved Allan resonated in my memory.
好きだよ。必ず君を守る。笑って。君には幸せでいてもらいたい。俺はただこの子の喜ぶ顔が見たいだけだよ。
His words of love had already etched a deep mark in my heart. Even if he had no voice, my feelings for him would not waver. Now it was my turn to help him. Allan, it was Satan who took your voice, wasn't it? He nodded hesitantly. I know. Like, what are you thinking? His silent expression had a hint of doubt. In response, I smiled confidently. We'll renegotiate. I'll get your voice back, Allan. He's like, don't you dare. He shook his head to disagree, but I wouldn't back down. I am also a greater demon. You've taught me how to protect myself. I'm aware of Satan's threats. Don't worry, I won't be reckless. His lips formed a silent but without any sound following it. I had to help him. I held his hand with both of mine. This time, I gave him a proper smile. Allan, let's confront Satan together. I can't bear a future where I can no longer hear your voice. He seemed torn between the risk of facing Satan and the desire to speak once more. It was fun when we were angels, but now that we had the gift of speech, I wanted to be able to talk with you again. Please, this is my own selfish request. I want to be the one to protect you this time. For a moment, Allan seemed surprised, but then a gentle smile played on his lips as he held my hand in return. In my heart, I heard him say, "You've become so dependable."
頼もしいな。
I watched Lynette walking in front of me as I realized that my depressed feelings had completely vanished. With her by my side, my despair would fade away. When we were angels, she had always been my anchor, guiding me forward when I faltered.
俺は君を救えるなら何を失ってもいいって思っていた。魂を差し出せと言われても構わなかった。声を奪われたくらいいいって思ってた。君が生きていてくれるなら。
I know it's not as bad as losing your soul unless you get to be with her. But she had wished that we would be able to laugh together once more.
手放すと決めた時に覚悟を決めていたはずだったんだけどな。
However, her desire to hear my voice reignited my own longing for it. A deal with a demon can never be reversed. I thought I had accepted that. But she was greedy yet compassionate, my very own demon. She wanted to take my voice back.
あのサタンのことだから。返せと言えば、次に何を要求されるか分かったものじゃないが。
Perhaps he would demand 100 human souls. In that case, how would we respond? If I had to do it for her sake, I wouldn't hesitate for even a second, but I couldn't allow her to be forced to commit such sins. Would I truly be able to sacrifice others for my own selfish wish? Allan? She turned to look at me, sensing my inner turmoil.
リネット。
I called her name in my heart. Lynette smiled, almost as if she had heard it. Don't worry, I can do anything. For some reason, she always knew the words I needed most.
リネット。 たとえ罪を犯したとしても、必ず声を取り戻してみせる。君の名を、もう一度呼ぶために。
Upon returning to hell, things looked absolutely dreadful. I wonder if Satan will tell them to kill Cupid. Because Cupid's down there wreaking havoc right now on the demon world. If I was Satan, I'd probably be like, you know what, get rid of that god. That will give your voice back. Maybe Cupid's already gone.
やはり神は我らの敵だ。次は先手を打つぞ。
What should we do about this? Is it because Sylvie attacked? Allan nodded. We gazed at the castle in the distance, towering above everything else in hell. It was said that Satan resided there. We needed to hurry before a war between Celestia and hell began. Allan, let's go. He's like, I'm ready. We unleashed our demonic powers in unison. Holding hands, we soared towards the castle. Ooh. Whoa, it's lava. The floor is lava. Oh my goodness. Inside Satan's castle was eerily silent, in stark contrast to the pandemonium outside. No demons were present. Yet we felt the overpowering aura of Satan emanating from somewhere within. Guided by our senses, we walked in the direction of his energy. Soon we entered a throne room, sensing Satan's aura from behind the curtain. Lord Satan, are you there?
元キューピッドの悪魔とアラン・メルビルか。取引は終わったはずだが、何をしに来た？
You know, that sounds like the voice that we heard when Sylvie was like panicking. When I was trying to figure out who it was, I think it was Satan. That sounds familiar. I apologize for dropping by uninvited, but I have a favor to ask.
願い?
Yes, I want you to give Allan his voice back. I went straight to the point. After a brief pause, Satan's maniacal laughter echoed through the room.
まさかこのサタンにお願いなどをする者が現れるとはな。悪魔に取引をした者を返せと。さすがは深海育ち。考えが甘い。我ら悪魔に慈悲などない。略奪し、むさぼり食うのが我らの生き方よ。取引をするだけマシではないか。
Of course, I wouldn't ask this for free if there's anything I could offer in return.
アランの声を返す代わりに、お前の声を奪うと言ってもか？
That might be problematic.
だから甘いと言っているのだ。お前が差し出せるもので、私が与えたのと同じ価値のあるものなどないよ。
Satan was the one responsible for my resurrection. I wasn't sure how he did it, but I knew that Satan was acquainted with Lord Pluto. He must have struck some kind of deal. In return for his effort, he took something of equal value that was Allan's voice. What could I offer in return? But if it's anything else...
それ相応のものを差し出す覚悟はあるようだな。
What is he gonna ask?
ならお前には神殺しをしてもらおうか。
What's Dayside? Deicide? What is that? Hold on. I'm assuming kill a bunch of people. Oh, killer of a god. Okay, a god killer. I was right. Go kill a god for me. Oh my goodness. Deicide.
神は我ら悪魔の敵だ。お前も知っているだろう。 恨む者は年々増えている。実際、私もいい加減にあれらの横暴を許せなくなってね。人間の魂を食らえば雷を落とす。だがなぜあれらに他者を罰する権利がある？神がなぜ偉いのか考えたことはないか？
Because he was right, I had. Why were the gods deemed just and demons evil? I sometimes question this, especially when I thought about Claris. But whether or not I would commit deicide was another matter. The gods and Celestials were my relatives. I didn't want to kill them.
幸い、お前は深海で愛されて育った。お前が行けば神殺しはうまくいくだろう。
I don't know why he thinks it'll be easy for her. They've already stated multiple times that demons are at a huge disadvantage when it comes to power levels with the gods. And they have artifacts that can make him disappear.
どうだ？手を組んで共に神を殺さないか？そうすればお前のつがいの声を返してやろう。
All of them?
彼の声は私のもとにある。返すも返さないも私次第だ。取り戻したくてここへ来たんだろう。
さあ、私の可愛い悪魔よ。共に神殺しを始めよう。
How dare he use Allan's voice to persuade her? Satan was attempting to entice me with the promise of Allan's voice. The voice of my beloved was right in front of me. I took a step forward. He's like, don't you dare. Allan stopped me. He gripped my arm and shook his head. It was as if I could hear him whisper no. It was clearly a trap. But don't be swayed by demon's seductions. Satan only agrees to deals that favor him. I could see that was what he was trying to say. I recall that Allan always taught me to negotiate with demons.
どうした？お前の願いはその男の声を取り戻すことだろう。
Negotiate time.
何に変えてもどんな犠牲を払っても取り戻したいものではないのか？それともお前の愛というものはその程度だったのか？
He attempted to seduce, provoke, and extract something from me.
さあうなずくんだ。愛する者のために私の手を取れ。
Satan's voice shook the ground. His enticing, honeyed voice soon shifted to threats to subdue the others. The atmosphere grew tense as if gravity intensified. I started to sweat. This was the might of a superior demon. But if I agreed to this, I knew I would be forced to kill a god. I would become subordinated through the demon's pact and complicit in a god's murder. No matter how much I tried to resist, I wouldn't be able to defy the orders of a high-ranking demon. Once the pact was sealed, it was over. If I became Satan's underling, I would never be able to return as a free demon. Even if Allan's voice did return, it was meaningless if I was bound to Satan. I now understood Allan's reluctance to come here. I can't accept those terms. With newfound courage, I stood my ground. I held Allan's hand and I glared at Satan behind the curtain.
ほう。つまりお前はつがいの声を見捨てるのか？
I won't, but I won't kill any gods.
詭弁だな。望む者のために手を汚せない者ごときに取り戻せるものなど何もない。
But, assuming the gods are slain, what then?
悪魔が世界を統治する。もとより神など必要なかったのだ。お前も昔はそう言っていたではないか。
How did you?
打点した神の底を知るぐらいわけもない。だからお前を誘っているのだ。 さあうなずけ。私の下僕となり、共に神を殺そう。それが自由への唯一の道だ。
You seek the freedom to devour humans.
それが悪魔という生き物だ。生理的欲求を神などに指定はさせない。だから殺すのだ。
Still, I don't believe killing gods is the best solution. You wish for the gods to recognize the nature of demons, then I could mediate so that both sides are satisfied. Although I doubt it was possible, I couldn't give up without trying. One side trying to eliminate the other was wrong. There must have been a solution that could satisfy the gods and demons. I tried to present this argument, but Satan scoffed.
何を言い出すかと思えば、本当に無知で無邪気な悪魔だ。だがな、もう手遅れだ。サイは投げられたのだよ。
Oh, is there still conflict to resolve? I bet you it's Sylvie. I bet you he manipulated Sylvie. It's going to stir up the demons and it's going to cause a war. From behind the curtain, a white hand appeared. Satan was emerging. Oh. Satan's hand was much smaller than I thought it would be. It was like a hand of a child. No, that wasn't Satan's hand. I recognize those tiny fingertips. Is it Sylvie? Oh my goodness. Huh? Is he manipulated? It was Sylvie, but the only thing similar about him was his appearance. His presence was completely different. Now he exuded Satan's intimidating aura. What is the meaning of this?
悪魔の姿が違うぐらい、どうということはないだろう
Then you're just taking the shape of and voice of Sylvie. So Satan was the one killing the demons? I had no idea. I glanced over at Allan. He shook his head, looking shocked. He mouthed the words no. He signaled that Satan had taken Sylvie's body. Okay, he's possessed him then.
さすがアラン・メルビル。お前には分かったようだね。この私の衣装が本物だと。
I knew he was possessed. There's no way Sylvie would do all that. Satan giggled, resembling, but still, if Satan possessed him, why is he killing his own kin? I guess he really is trying to start a war, because why else would he do that? Satan giggled, resembling Sylvie. He ran his fingers along his body as if patting himself down.
君たちも知っているだろう悪魔が神から魂を抜き出す行為自体はさ。
Can they? Of course I knew. Allan had done that to me before. That's what I thought he was getting at, but I don't remember how he did that. He had removed my soul when I was a god and instigated my reincarnation as a human. Oh yeah, he stabbed her in the heart with a special artifact. That's how he retrieved her soul.
私もそうしただけだ。警戒心のない神の魂を抜き出し、それでこの魂を覆っているのさ。つまりこれは私の衣装。深海行きのチケットになる最高のドレスさ。
You're going to infiltrate Celestia as Sylvie? No way. Ticket, dress, costume. These were all inanimate objects. They were not words that should be used to describe a god. Did you kill Sylvie?
動けないことを死と呼ぶならね。私はただ幼い神の肉体をこねて私にまとわりつかせただけ。もちろん神々が私をキューピッドだと誤認するように生かしてある。死体では見破られるからね。
So when Sylvie knew something was going to happen, he went to go stop it as Satan intervened. Allan groaned, even without a voice. The god we had cherished was now being used as Satan's disguise. Yet he was somehow still alive, kept that way so the gods wouldn't see through the deception. Sylvie's body was being held captive to bypass the god's scrutiny. I glanced at Allan, who seemed to have realized something. Allan's lips mouthed the words that you were the one who shot her. Oh. I bet Allan is mad now. Satan was responsible for his death, and Allan had to sacrifice something that he didn't even need to sacrifice because it was all Satan's fault to begin with. Huh? Are you saying that Sylvie was actually Satan in Sylvie's body when he invaded hell? Why are you just not realizing this? Now that he mentioned it, everything about Sylvie was odd back then. He never once said Cupid, and his expression was far too mature. I had assumed it was because we hadn't seen him in 100 years.
今さら気づいたのか。なら神を欺くのもたやすいだろうな。
I could just imagine Allan's hatred right now. Every hair on my body stood on end, realizing that I had been deceived about the very cause of my death. He was nothing but a fraud. He had pretended to help us with a problem that he caused only to steal something important to us.
I 私は気の遠くなるほど長い時間を使って神々を滅ぼす準備をしてきたのだ。他の堕天使たちと共にな。そうしてついにこの肉体を得た。時は満ちたのだ。
So I guess I was right. There's going to be an entire finale in the ending. Oh my goodness. Because it's like 30 minutes into recording and we're already at where last episode was. And it's not even resolved yet. Well, I just hope it's not a 3-hour video. That's all I'm hoping for.
幸い、キューピッドが攻め込んできたおかげで、深海に対して不満を抱いていなかった悪魔たちも放棄した。皆の心は一つになった。ついに神を殺せるよ。
Outside the castle window, I heard the demons' roars. They cried for the annihilation of the gods, for revenge. But demons can't enter Celestia. It's impossible to invade.
ところが、可能にするものがここにあるんだ。
Satan smiled and revealed a piece of cloth with a familiar decoration. Is that Lady Juno's artifact?
キューピッドになれたからね。深海から奪ってきたんだ。これがあれば、すべての悪魔を深海へ連れて行ける。
How did you steal it though? Like, I'm sure it was in Jupiter's possession. I don't know how you stole it. Even as Cupid. Cupid is a lesser god. He can't get anywhere near Jupiter. Whatever.
君にも見覚えがあるようだね。かつて無理やり着させられた花嫁衣装だ。いまいましいだろう。
She denied the role of Juno though, so I don't know what he's talking about. Allan's got sly look on. Allan fixated his glare on Satan, even without his voice. His presence as a greater demon radiated. I knew what he wanted to ask, so I voiced it in his place. How did you manage to steal the divine artifact? Lady Juno's artifact was something even demons could touch. I had realized that when I wrapped Allan in it. Oh yeah, she did, didn't she? When she took him to go see heaven for the last time? I don't remember why she put it on though. I know Jupiter offered her Juno's place. I don't remember her putting on the bridal gown. I do remember the scene where they're falling through the sky though, and she's like, "Do you want to see heaven one last time?" And he's like, "Yes." But I had assumed that it was because Allan had been a former angel. I know, why is her artifact the only one that they can touch? I thought that other demons, especially Satan, would be unable to touch it, let alone steal it from Celestia. Satan held Lady Juno's divine artifact lovingly and then flashed a demonic grin.
それは、ジュノーが悪魔に限りなく近い神だったからだよ。
Huh?
昔は、神も悪魔も明確に境目があったわけじゃなかったんだ。だから、どの神も秩序を持たなかった。神話での身勝手な神々の行動を君たちも知っているだろう。セメレ、レート、カリスト、ラミアにイオ、ジュノーに復讐されたゼウスの愛人の名は数えきれないほどだ。
Take revenge, John. Oh my goodness.
カリストの姿を熊に変え、セメレを焼死させ、ラミアから眠りを奪い、ゼウスとの間に生まれる子をすべて殺した。
Man, she was jealous, wasn't she? Jeez.
愛人たちへの復讐に飽き足らず、ゼウスの浮気を手助けした者たちを罰した。これのどこが神だ？なぜ悪魔でないと言える？
But Lady Juno was a member of the Dicostants.
だが、私に体を許した。
We? If it's her and Satan?
あの女はゼウスを救う方法を探しに悪魔界へ来ていたんだ。しかし、私の誘惑にあっさり陥落した。
You are a terrible person.
低層の神の名が聞いて呆れる。ジュノーはいい声で泣いてくれたよ。
That's disgusting. uh.
もとよりゼウス以外の男を知らない哀れな女神だ。この私に屈服するのは一瞬だったよ。嫉妬心で人を殺し、悪魔に体を許す堕落した神。それがジュノーだ。そんな神の神具を悪魔が扱えないはずないだろう。悪魔と言っていいような神なのだからな。
Satan's words felt so real. I suppose he was right. The goddess Juno had killed and tortured many women in her mythological stories. A god like that didn't have the right to punish demons simply because they ate humans, but still, that was no reason for demons to kill gods. Besides, the gods weren't as selfish anymore. Dad may have been arrogant and Mom a free spirit, but they truly cared about humanity. I couldn't let this happen. I couldn't let the gods be killed and let the demons do as they please. I wouldn't let Satan disguised as Cupid enter Celestia. Neither did Allan. Neither is Allan. Suddenly, I felt Allan's hand squeeze mine. He was trying to communicate something, even without words. I knew his thoughts. Smile. Yes, I know. You know what? Tell us. I smiled at him without uttering a word. I believed that was enough for him to understand. Understand what? We released our hands together again. After releasing, we both soared upwards. So, Allan unleashed his demonic powers, attacking Satan. Oh my goodness, here we go.
無駄な抵抗を。
He's like, nice try. Oh my goodness.
私を殺す気か？よほど深海に攻め込まれたくないと見える。お前の心はどこまでも天使のままか。
Oh my goodness.
だからお前たちから力を奪ったのだ。私の計画の邪魔だったからな。
He took his powers. Satan used his powers to knock Allan back, but Allan quickly rebounded. Allan's face was full of murderous intent. Satan saw his resolve and unleashed his powers once more. Yeah, murderous intent because you shot and killed his wife. But this was all a part of our strategy. Distract him. Got it. Got the artifact. Oh my goodness. While they fought, I snuck up behind and retrieved Lady Juno's divine artifact. I mean, you're Satan. Couldn't you have predicted this? You're so naive too. Allan mouthed fly, then rocketed upwards. Allan waited for me in the air. He wrapped his arms around me and together we accelerated. Where are you going? You gonna return it to Celestia? We pierced through hell's skies and kept ascending. Into the sky we went higher and higher. Lady Juno's divine artifact shielded us until we caught a glimpse of our former home. I'm gonna go to heaven. You couldn't allow a war between gods and demons. After all, we were angels born in the sky. Angels were born from the goodness within humans' hearts. We had returned to the sky from which we had fallen long ago. All we hoped for was to end the fight. Are they gonna see Jupiter? Please! Oh my goodness, they went to Celestia. We truly made it. Each holding part of Lady Juno's divine artifact over our heads, Allan and I reached Celestia. I was returning home for the first time in over a century. This really takes me back. I had taken Allan to heaven using Lady Juno's divine artifact before, so I knew it was feasible. However, this was the first time I had returned to Celestia since becoming a demon. I was so overcome with emotion that I nearly cried. Although, now that I was a demon, I couldn't call this place my home anymore. Who are you?
悪魔が深海に立ち入るとは何事だ。しかもそれは呪脳神の神具。ヒットラよ。
Wait, we come in peace. Wait, please hear us out. Divine soldiers surrounded us, armed with spears. Right when we thought we would be captured, I heard a deep, admonishing voice. Is it Mars?
待て。その者たちは我らの敵ではない。
It's Jupiter, yay. I almost didn't recognize, well, I recognized it right away, but it does not sound like Jupiter because he's using his god voice. His Yang voice from Pure Fury. Huh? The ruler of Celestia, Lord Jupiter, stood before us. Lord Jupiter? Yeah, the fact that a demon calls you Lord, they are not your foes. Having once been struck by Lord Jupiter's lightning, Allan instinctively felt fear towards him. But Lord Jupiter did not summon his divine artifact. Instead, he observed us silently. His eyes had a gentle quality, as if he were looking at his own offspring.
天界の上に生まれし対の天使たちよ。こちらへ来なさい。
Oh, I'm already enjoying the way this is ending. He's acknowledged to them. Man, I almost feel like I don't know Jupiter in this. He is completely different than how he is in his own route. Allan looked to me with uncertainty, silently imploring our next move. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to do either, but my instincts urged me to have faith in Lord Jupiter's kind gaze. You know, right? It's not gonna hurt you. It's alright, Lord Jupiter addressed us as angels. I doubt this is a trap. He nodded in agreement. Hand in hand, we followed Lord Jupiter. We entered a chamber I hadn't seen in over a century. Nostalgia gripped my heart. I thought I had lost this room and heaven's scenery forever. Noticing my emotions, Allan gently squeezed my hand. His tenderness gave me courage. It was not the time to be sentimental. I needed to inform Lord Jupiter of Satan's schemes.
お前たちは二人でよくそうして手をつないでいたな。
Oh, he's so cute and caring. I was gonna say something when he looked at them as if they were his own offspring. Like, he felt for them. It broke his heart to tear them apart when Mercury tore them apart. So I bet he's super happy to see them right now. Huh?
あ、いや、なんでもない。それで、深海まで来てどうした？なぜ二人は、ジュノーの寝具を持っている？
He admitted to have been watching over them for hundreds of years. I don't know if it was in his route or if it was in Allan's route, but Lord Jupiter had an overwhelming aura of authority that was different from Satan's. As the leader of the Diconstitants, Lord Jupiter held absolute power. I took a deep breath and cautiously opened my mouth to speak. The demons have been plotting to invade Celestia, and Satan is within Cupid's body. We've come to alert you. We recounted to Lord Jupiter all that had happened. We informed him of my death in the journey to the underworld, that Allan gave his voice to bring me back, and that Satan had devoured Lady Juno. Did he? He said all of that about Lady Juno, but I didn't get to the sense that he devoured her. I know Zeus devoured her in Jupiter's story anyway. I didn't, yeah. Nowhere did I understand that Lady Juno was devoured by Satan. Well, at least it told us, so someone as naive as me can understand. The demons had prepared to invade Celestia, but with the divine artifact in our possession, the invasion was halted. Despite our efforts, though, it was still possible for Satan to gain entry to Celestia because of Cupid's essence. After we finished our report, Lord Jupiter seemed deep in thought.
そうか。キューピッドが捕らえられ、ジュノーがサタンの餌食に。
I'm sorry, I know this is terrible news. You must be shocked to hear about Lady Juno. Yeah, wasn't she missing for hundreds of years? Because she was missing when Sylvie came to visit them for a year, and that was 100 years ago. So he devoured her over 100 years ago then? Lord Jupiter and Lady Juno were two gods, known to have been married in mythological stories. No, she's married to Zeus. She doesn't know who Zeus is yet, I guess. They must have been shocked to learn of her infidelity with Satan, but...
いや、私とジュノーの間には何もなかった。だからそれについては案ずるな。
Yeah, he has nothing to do with Juno. He's never even kissed a girl before. Huh? Really?
ああ、というか、ジュノーの企みがまさかそこにあったとは、成就しなかったのは不幸中の幸いとでも言うべきか。
Yes, because it was my brother.
いや、それよりアラン、よくぞ彼女を冥界から取り戻した。さぞや大変だっただろ
う。Oh, he's glad that a demon was saved.
私としても、お前の声を取り戻したいが、さすがに私でも、サタンの奪ったものは奪い返せない。
But if you go and invade hell, you could.
だが、必ず声を取り戻せるよう、私も力を尽くそう。きっと、必ず。
This makes me happy. Lord Jupiter looked at us with a kind, fatherly gaze. Allan appeared confused by that. Lord Jupiter.
しかし、話を聞く限り、よほど我らに恨みのある打天使たちが多いようだな。お前もよくわかるのだろう。神を恨む気持ちは。
He's like, yes, I do. He wants to say that he doesn't hold a grudge anymore.
彼の言葉がわかるのか？
Why do you sound surprised? They were paired angels for 400 years plus. Yes, we were paired angels.
そうか。天界の上に生まれし男の天使よ。お前にひどいことをした。許せとは言えないが。
Oh, he feels so bad.
対の天使を引き裂き、天使たちを酷使した。我ら神が打天使たちに恨まれるのも当然だ。
Allan looked surprised to hear that Lord Jupiter remembered him. We hadn't expected the leader of the Diconstitutes to remember every single angel. I mean, whenever he talked to them in Allan's previous route, he made it clear that he remembered them. I think he even apologized then too. Allan's like, we're understood now. We understand each other. What? What does he want? Allan gestured to me, indicating that he had a question for Lord Jupiter. Lord Jupiter, do you know of a way to get his voice from Satan? I asked on Allan's behalf. Lord Jupiter briefly widened his eyes before looking away, seemingly disheartened.
あるにはあるが、かなり大変なはず。
So there is a way. Please tell us.
ち
He said chi. Chi? Oh? Is she good?
あ、いや、そうだな。サタンを倒せば、彼の奪った力は元の持ち主の元へ戻るだろう。
I can't believe he said chi. She's like, what? Yes. Jupiter is the divine beast that you have spent many, many years with and used as a massager. I hope she realizes this. It's gonna be so funny. So you must defeat him, okay? Defeat Satan. I know, easy, right? Defeat Satan.
うん。だから大変だと言ったのだ。あれは近年凄まじい力を得ている。倒すのは容易ではないだろう。
Well, they're going to need the help of the gods. Two greater demons cannot beat a superior demon, probably.
まるであれのような男だ。やはりああした気質の者が上に立つべきなのだろうな。
Yeah, he's musing to himself. It's those of that nature who are meant to be leaders. What does that mean? But demons are powerless against gods, right? Demons will be vaporized by divine artifacts, and most demons can't come here.
そのはずではあるのだが、サタンは今キューピッドの姿をしているのだろう。寝具で深く貫かない限り効果はないはずだ。
I like that he's like faltering over his own words. He's like trying to maintain his composure and not run away. Not turn into chi and run away.
しかし、貫けるほど近接できるかというと正直わからない。サタンは悪魔を食らって神々に匹敵する強さを身につけてしまったからな。
Satan ate other demons.
ああ、実際アランもサタンに力を奪われただろう。アランだけではない。他の悪魔たちも皆力を奪われていると報告に聞いている。
I bet you everyone he shot with the arrow, like he stole the powers from.
本気でこの深海を破壊し、悪魔だけの世界を生むつもりで力を蓄えているのだろう。だが、この世は深海と悪魔界、天使と悪魔、双方が同じだけいて初めて均衡が保たれるのだ。決してどちらか片方だけでは成り立たない。もしサタンが我らを消すというならば、それは世界の均衡が崩れるということだ。もしそうなれば、人間も無事ではいられまい。
Allan seemed skeptical. I sensed his concern, so I told them to Lord Jupiter. I thought gods wanted to erase the demons from existence. What is this equilibrium you're talking about?
確かに、我ら神は悪魔を消滅させてきた。人の魂を喰らい、罪を犯させ、人を輪廻の輪から外れさせるようそそのかす悪魔を。
To deviate from the circle of life. If that was a punishable offense, then Clarus must have been a bad demon as well. I tensed as Lord Jupiter turned his gaze.
だが、それも騙された人間が苦しみ、助けを求める場合のみだ。我々もむやみに悪魔を消してきたわけではない。サタンもそれは知っているはずだ。神もサタンも悪魔も天使も等しく存在していなければならないと。 それなのに最近はサタンが誘惑するせいで堕天する天使が増えている。天使が減り世界がすさめばさらに天使が生まれなくなる。
Is it because angels are born from the goodness in humans' hearts?
知っていたのか。
Yes, I learned it from Jack-o'-lantern.
そうか。プルートはしっかり冥界の管理をしているのだな。それに比べて私は。
Meanwhile, I am a despicable god. He has no self-confidence. Allan comforted Lord Jupiter with a pat on the back. Pat, pat, I heard that. It seemed odd for a demon to be the one consoling the leader of the Diconstitans. I thought maybe these two could be friends.
チーすまない。つい弱気になってしまったようだな。はあ、ありがとう、アラン。
He's so passionate, even in this route. Thank you, Allan. I miss Lord Jupiter's route. Allan wanted to say that he had made the same observation about the demons in hell. Lord Jupiter understood without my intervention.
ああ、そうなのだ。サタンが堕天させすぎて人の心がひどくすさんでしまった。悪魔ばかりが生まれる世の中になってしまった。これもすべては人の魂を喰らうためだろう。天使を減らし深海の人手不足を加速させ攻め込みやすくしたのだ。サタンは私利私欲のために世の均衡を壊してしまった。ならば私は迎え撃たなければならない。
See, it's the showdown of Celestia versus Hell, and this is in the sweet and spicy end. It's in an ending. This should have been in the main story.
だからついの天使たちよ、もし声を取り戻すためにサタンに戦いを挑むならば。
Gathering his resolve, Lord Jupiter looked at us. There was an odd quality in his eyes that reminded me of someone. Chi?
私も連れて行ってくれないか。
Or Peter. His voice was much softer than I expected. I thought I recognized that timid, fearful gaze. Those eyes, it reminds me of someone. He recognizes it too. Allan made a familiar gesture, replicating the action of an electric massager on my shoulder, and that confirmed it. Your Chi?
Chi?
Yes, she figures it out. My exclamation startled Lord Jupiter, causing him to spaz out. Then we heard a small explosion. A white fluff appeared where Lord Jupiter was. I was familiar with that white fluff. It was Chi. Chi? You were Lord Jupiter all along?
Chi! Chi! Chi!
I know. You're more friends with him than you thought you were. Chi looked regretful, his tiny legs cradling his head. However, he quickly shook his little paws at me before reverting to his original form.
すまない。お前の声に驚いてしまって。
Your shouting surprised me, so I transformed.
いや、使い魔を間違えて出してしまった。
You're a liar. Regaining his composure, Lord Jupiter cleared his throat and stood tall, as if he was trying to downplay my discovery. I know, right? She's not fooled by you. Neither is he. I glanced at Allan, who tried to hold back laughter. Clearly, my assumption was wrong. Lord Jupiter was definitely Chi, but that revelation wasn't important right now, so I wasn't going to press him. I wanted to focus on regaining Allan's voice and stopping Satan's schemes. I understand, Lord Jupiter. Please stop Satan together, the three of us.
ああ、共に世界の均衡を取り戻そう。
He's so passionate. I love the way he speaks. Now we're in Allan's perspective. After our conversation, I joined an urgent Diconstitans meeting with Lynette. All of the gods rallied to fight Satan with two demons.
リネットはできれば安全な場所にいてほしかったんだが。
but she insisted on going. It was probably because I didn't have my powers, and it would be dangerous if she wasn't by my side.
まあ、ジュノーの寝具が身を守ってくれるという話だから、大丈夫だとは思うが。
At that moment, Lady Juno's divine artifact had been unraveled into fine particles. It was being worn like a full set of armor. The invisible armor allowed us to remain in Celestia and would protect us against other divine artifacts. We were also given a scepter. It was the same scepter used by Lady Juno, lent to us by Lord Jupiter.
悪魔に寝具を貸し出すなんてな。本当に、お人よしの出身だ。
You say that, but Lynette was Cupid, and he lived with her for 6 years as Chi. I mean, if she hasn't hurt anyone as a demon, he fully trusts her. Perhaps it was because of his bond as Chi with Lynette. See, exactly. Had I been aware of this fact a century ago, I wouldn't have allowed her to become a demon. Oh. You wouldn't. You would make her become Lady Juno. I was grateful to have learned more about Jupiter now, at least. Yet even if my former self would have wished to know, perhaps I was more greedy now. You want her all to yourself. I would too. Seeing Lynette flying next to me, I noticed her eyes light up. Wow, Allan, look, this place looks so divine.
あ、そうだね。
Communicated to her silently, then spread my wing to get closer to her. Divine scenery was all around us. Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Minerva, Poseidon, Mercury, Apollo, Diana, all of the eminent figures had gathered here today. We are gathered here today. Sorry, that was over 100 years ago. They had gathered to protect Celestia and to maintain the world's equilibrium.
そんな神々の中に、悪魔である俺たちがいるなんてな。
Jupiter, or should I say Chi, had clarified our position to the other gods. He said that we were fallen angels whom Satan had wronged and that we were willing to ally with them. Thanks to bonds forged over 400 years as Cupid, she and I were permitted to stand alongside the gods even though we were demons. I was here with one mission, to defeat Satan and reclaim my voice. So that I could call her name once more. Oh.
ディネット、必ず声を取り戻すよ。君と俺で幸せになるために。
He just wants to say her name again. This is so cute. I tightened my grip on her hand, taking one long look at her. Lynette didn't say anything. All she did was smile happily. She wore that same smile from time to time in heaven. But I was greedy. I yearned for even more happiness than when we had back in heaven. I wanted us to be able to call each other's names, to declare our love for one another with laughter. I looked down towards the surface and noticed an ominous aura approaching Celestia. Satan was on his way. We soon spotted Sylvie's body containing Satan. As if looking at his worst enemy, Satan flew towards us with rage in his eyes. I held the scepter out to protect Lynette. He's here. I gulped. I had already sensed Satan approaching since entering Celestia with Allan. Though he had Sylvie's appearance, it wasn't him. I needed to rescue Sylvie's body from Satan.
それでは皆の者、配置は良いか。
ああ、無論だ。
任せてちょうだい。あんな狡猾で性悪な悪魔に負けたりしないわ。ねえ、そうよ。倒して、うちの新しいエロースを取り戻さないと。
Mom and Dad and Auntie all showed a rare display of motivation. A rare display. I think it was the first time I'd ever seen them cooperate with each other. Allan, stay close to me. He smiled as if to say, you too. Lord Jupiter's lightning was a signal. He had aimed it straight towards Satan. It's an hour in and we're still in the first ending. Oh my goodness. The war had begun.
Ho!
A fierce battle ensued, exactly like the one from the legends. All of the mighty gods had assembled, yet Satan easily dodged and parried the attacks with Cupid's arrow.
たく、
ちょこまかとすばしっこいわね。
そんな大物当たるはずないだろう。
危ない。
ち、神にはそう簡単に当たらないか。
気をつけろビーナス。あの矢にいられればおそらくお前はあの男に恋をしてしまう。
That would be the worst, wouldn't it? If she became infatuated with Satan. By the way, I thought there was a war. Did they say the war had begun or something? The battle had begun? It's Satan versus the gods. Where's all the other fallen angels? I thought there's supposed to be fallen angels attending this battle.
ねえ、絶対に当たらないわ。だって私が愛しているのはマーズだけだもんな。
おおビーナス、私の愛を。
Oh my goodness.
頼むマーズ、戦ってくれ。
I've never heard him sound like that before. Is he embarrassed? Lovers, the comedy aside, the confrontation between Satan and the gods continued. Satan's power was overwhelming. One god after another was hit by Cupid's arrow, causing them to lose the will to fight. Uh-oh.
さだ。なんて素敵な瞳なの。
そんなビーナス、よくも私の妻を奪ったな。
Oh my goodness.
ビーナスとマーズもやられたか。二人とも牢獄へ行け。
Take them to prison, go cool off behind the bars. Oh my goodness. Any gods struck by Satan's arrows were dispatched to prison before they could ally with Satan. At first the fight was even, but the scales tipped as more gods were hit. Where's the fallen angels though? Like seriously? Several hours into battle, the only ones left on our side were Lord Jupiter, Allan, and me.
あっけない。やはり神などこの世にはいらないようだな。
Lord Jupiter was sweating anxiously as he slowly inched backwards.
無駄だ。覚悟しな。
チー。
Uh-oh. Chee! About to be shot by Cupid's arrow, Lord Jupiter transformed into Chi for one final defense. The Cupid's arrow struck his tiny body. Oh no. Now Lord Jupiter is in love with him. Before Chi could open his eyes again, I jumped in to catch him.
Chi?
Aww. Cupid's arrow was a divine artifact that induced romantic bonds, but it required a simultaneous targeting of two individuals. Oh. Targeting of two individuals. Victims of Cupid's arrow fall for the first person they see. Okay. Satan exploited this by ensuring they gazed upon him post-impact. My role was simple: intercept him before he unleashed his seductive powers.
Chi.
Yay, now Chi's in love with her. Oh my goodness. Chi looked at me and blushed. It seemed my intervention was successful. Allan promptly lifted him by the scruff. Don't look at my wife like that. By the scruff. I can just imagine him. Can you imagine Allan picking up Lord Jupiter by the scruff of the neck? It's so funny. His expression silently conveyed a good thing the leader of the gods didn't side with Satan, but I detected a tinge of jealousy. Although it was to stop Satan, Allan wasn't thrilled that the leader of the Dicostatans had fallen in love with me, even in his chi form.
小賢しい手を。さすが先代のキューピッドだね。この矢の効能をよく知っているみたいだ。
Of course, I've been using that arrow much longer than you. Allan mouthed the words, "Brace yourself." He tossed the love-struck Chi aside and lunged at Satan. He swung his scepter straight down, but Satan countered it with Cupid's arrow. Their weapons collided. Allan unleashed his demonic powers in response. The potent dark aura was so pervasive that the gods could have easily mistaken him as the adversary.
これまで力を抑えていたというのか
He's like laughing. Allan smiled as if to say, I didn't want to get attacked by mistake. His power surged as he held the scepter. I realized that Allan had been holding him back so the gods wouldn't mistake him for Satan and attacked him instead. We were in Celestia, but there were no gods around to attack him. He's able to be free.
卑怯だこれまで温存して他の神を踏み台にして私を殺そうなど
Satan was showing signs of fatigue from his long battle, but Allan still had energy to spare. Allan swung the scepter at full strength. Oh my goodness. Hit with Allan's attack, Satan fell. To finish him off, Allan attacked again. Lady Juno's divine artifact pierced Satan's body, and all of his demonic powers began to melt away. Even without the powers Satan has stolen from him, Allan still overpowered him. He had accumulated so much strength as a greater demon so that he could protect me. He used to tell me about the crimes he had committed to become a greater demon with much sadness. But thanks to his efforts, he was the one being powerful enough to defeat Satan. Allan's glare became sharper. Like a raptor taking aim at its prey, his eyes glowed. His wings sliced through the air like black lightning. Oh my goodness. With that, the battle ended instantly. Satan was completely impaled by the scepter. I heard the sound of his flesh being torn. I'm gonna separate that soul. I don't like that sound.
ダメだそこを剥がすな届く私の魂が
I didn't like that at all. Allan yanked the scepter out of Satan's chest with force. The sound of his disintegration echoed throughout the sky. As he did that, a black mist came out of Sylvie's body. With nowhere to go, the black particles soon vanished into the air of Celestia. In that instant, Allan blinked his eyes. You can speak! Oh my goodness. He placed his hand over his throat and looked at me. That was all it took for me to understand that his voice had returned to him.
Lynette.
You spoke her name once more. Oh my goodness, the first thing he said was my name.
Lynette. Lynette. 君の名前が言える。
Aww. Allan. Allan. We embraced. I buried my face in his chest and let his voice envelop me.
ごめん。寂しい思いをさせて。
No, it's alright.
ただいま。リネット。
Aww. I'm kind of that side. I'll get back, Allan. I welcomed him back as if he were returning home. After that, we looked into each other's eyes. Allan had finally regained his voice. And we defeated Satan, remembering that we turned to look at Sylvie's body. Oh, he's back. Sylvie frowned as he slowly opened his eyes.
あれここは
Sylvie blinked a few more times, then noticed us. His eyes lit up happily. He smiled and asked, "Did you come to see me?" He's so cute. And so the war between Satan and the gods had come to an end. So I wanted to think of something real quick before I forget about it. Lord Jupiter said that Satan has to exist, so Satan can't be destroyed. But if he is destroyed, does that mean Allan gets the Satan role now? That would be a way to give Allan the Satan position. I was I was hoping that he might ascend to that role in this route. The gods struck by Cupid's arrow recovered in 30 days. They regained their self-control and were able to return to their duties. Lord Jupiter resumed his original form. While looking a bit embarrassed about the whole thing, he returned to his duties as well. Oh, I wanted to see some more jealousy between Allan and Jupiter. That would have been well worth it. As for Sylvie, oh.
キューピッドは使い捨てなんですか？
After Sylvie returned to normal, we told him the truth about Cupid. While in Sylvie's form, Satan mentioned that we knew the truth about Cupid, yet we never told him. Those were a demon's words, but he was right.
ああ、これまで黙っていてごめん。でも猶予はあるんだ。まだ300年以上は生きられる。
Now that you told him, he's gonna want to become permanent.
それに恋を知って本物のキスをすれば人間になれるんだ。だからきっと消滅しない。
恋を知って本物のキスをすれば。じゃあリネット、僕とキスしてくれますか？
How's Allan gonna respond?
え？
Huh? Huh? Giggle. Oh my goodness. I've already read like half of this line just by glancing at it. Placing his hands on my shoulders, Sylvie looked at me with puppy dog eyes and begged for a kiss. That's not love, though.
実は僕、この100年の間、あなたを忘れられなかったんです。
I was going to pick you up by the scruff of your neck in a minute.
親や姉のようだって思ったこともありました。でも多分、僕の初恋の人です。
悪いけれど、悪魔のキスはどちらかというと命を削る行為なんだ。
That is true, though. Even though he's saying it to make him stop, it is true. Allan didn't want to kiss her either.
本当ですか？アランが独り占めしたいんじゃなくて？
Sorry, it's true. That's how I lost my divine powers too.
じゃあキスをすれば僕も打点できますか？
Oh my goodness, you just enticed him even more. Why would you want to become a fallen angel? I thought you liked being Cupid. Wait,
なんて冗談ですよ。キュピ、ちょっと意地悪したくなっちゃっただけです。
いや、冗談には聞こえなかったんだが。
Maybe it was.
でも、ありがとうございます。二人とも。僕にこんな大切なことを教えてくれて。今は恋結びが好きで楽しいから仕事に行きたいです。でもきっといつか恋をしてみせますから。そうしたら報告しに来ます。だって二人は僕の人間界での家族でしたから。
We only lived together for 1 year. Hearing that made me so happy I wanted to cry. That sentiment was intensified because when Satan took Sylvie's form, he only showed us direct hatred. There were times I truly considered him my own child. He was the next Cupid and someone I cherished. He was the only other member of our family, Sylvie, Allan, and me. Sure, I'll be waiting for that.
あ、元気でな。
I think it's cute that they adopted a little god as their child.
お二人も深海から見守ってますから。
Sylvie gave us both a giant hug. Then we departed from Celestia, leaving Lady Juno's divine artifacts behind. We bid farewell to the sky, a place we could never return to.
今でも時折想像する。もしもずっと天使だったとしたらって。
Are we still in the sweet and spicy ending? Oh my goodness. It's been an hour and a half and it's not over. I was like, okay, I guess that's a good place to stop, but it kind of feels like the end of a story, not a happily ever after ending. Is this the happily ever after ending now? Now that he's got his voice back? I swear, they took the title, the sweet and spicy ending for Allan, and they stuck it in the wrong place. Like, it should have been after all of this. So I'm wondering, does the sweet and the spicy end, do they end with her getting out of the underworld? I'm curious. Or if maybe one of them she falls and stays in the underworld. I don't know. It's really weird where they decided to leave off. It's really weird where they decided to put the endings in this fruit. Like, I don't know. Well, I guess I'll just have to finish reading them. I was thinking, man, if that's it, like Jupiter's route was so much better, and I was really looking forward to Allan's. Jupiter's route felt so impactful. Like, it was impactful. I don't know how else to describe that. The gods saved the world, and they had a real relationship and a real conflict and a real resolution. And Allan got that, but he didn't get that until the endings. And the route just kind of led up into, like, it just kind of built up into almost nothing. And I feel like Allan and Lynette, like, I feel like Allan is the true soulmate for Lynette. That's what I truly think, because of them being paired angels in heaven. Like, they were born together, so I feel like that those two are like the true couple of the root. And the fact that it wasn't played up to my expectations, like, they could have made it so much more impactful. They could have taken that and, like, they could have made a really beautiful story out of that, and I feel like that they didn't. Like, I feel like the god story is the more beautiful story, where she's, you know, she gets together with a god instead and keeps her divinity. But whatever, we're not even done yet, I guess, so I guess we'll keep going.
そして想像するたびに寂しさを覚えるんだ。彼女の声を聞けないのは嫌だから。今が一番幸せだ。そう知っているはずなのに、不意に言いようもない欲望に襲われる。一つ二つと願いが叶うたびに、三つ四つと新たな願いが生まれていくんだ。君と自分の血を分けた存在が欲しい。そんなキンキに触れるような願いを抱いてしまうんだ。
Is he the new Satan? I wonder. Allan.
ああ、リネット、ありがとう。
Oh, I wasn't expecting him to say thank you. I kissed Allan as he sat upon the throne of hell, handing him some coffee that I brewed in the kitchen. I was gonna say, wait, what kitchen? I forgot they're in a castle. So yeah, Allan ascends to Satanhood. Well, at least that fantasy of mine came true. That position of Satan had been passed along to Allan about 6 months ago. With Satan gone, hell went into temporary chaos. Some demons feared that they would be erased by the gods, as Satan had been. Others began to consume humans recklessly in Satan's absence. It was essential for there to be a leader of hell in order for equilibrium to be established. Hell was dictated by power, thus all the greater demons gathered to decide on Satan's successor. It was finally determined that Allan, having defeated the previous Satan, was the most suitable. With Lord Jupiter's blessing, Allan assumed the role of Satan. Now he ruled over hell as the mightiest demon. Are you okay? You seem exhausted.
まあ、さすがに仕事が多くて少し疲れたみたいだ。 でも大丈夫だ。君がいるからね。
Yep, you don't need to seduce any gods. You have your own wife. He smiled and gently caressed my cheek. I kissed Allan on the forehead and he grabbed my hand.
来てくれる？
What? Sure. Sure, what? What are we doing? I sat on Allan's lap as he settled onto the throne. I looked at his face as he ran his fingers through my hair.
ねえ、リネット。
ん？
好きだよ。
Me too. With my hands resting on his shoulders, we touched our foreheads together. He smiled, tickled my breath as our lips moved even closer.
家に帰ったらご飯にしようか。今日は何が食べたい？
We had grilled chicken yesterday. How about fish today?
いいね。ちょうど冷蔵庫にタラがあるし、ムニエルでも作るよ。
You know, if I was Satan, I'd be living in the castle instead of back in their home, but I guess they want some form of normalcy in their lives. It must be a shock to move into a castle all of a sudden. You want to cook? You did it yesterday. I thought maybe I should today.
ありがとう。でも、俺が君をもらうから、君のご飯は俺が用意するよ。
He whispered in my ear and playfully teased me with his tongue. Demons, a long and warm tongue. Why? Why do you have to be so descriptive? Even though he had done this multiple times, I couldn't help but to react each time. Allan, not here.
サタンの玉座なんて怖くてどんな悪魔も近寄らないよ。
He lick her ear. My husband hates anything wet in his ear. I don't like his ear, but still I'll get other things wet. Only when I'm feeling really mean though, because he hates it so much. And since he's stronger than me, he definitely pays me back for it. What are we talking about now? But I know what they're talking about. I'm not that naive.
なら、こうしていてあげるよ。
Let me do this for you. She's doing it for you. You're the one asking. Oh my goodness, he has 2 wings. Are you going to provide a curtain of cover for your intimacy? After becoming Satan, Allan had grown an additional wing. Now he had a pair. His new wing fluttered energetically, shielding me from the eternity of hell.
ほら、俺だけを見て。
We shared a kiss that sent chills down my spine, as if my soul itself was being embraced. Perhaps due to Allan's new status as Satan, his powers surged exponentially. Just one kiss allowed our demonic energy to merge together. He had become so powerful that he no longer required any energy from me.
リネット、これできっともう二度と君を危険にさらさずに済む。
I know no one can challenge Satan with your powers. Always, he promised to me while holding me in his arms. As we both continued to grow stronger together, we would never break that promise.
おいで。
Okay, look at that face.
愛しているよ。
He whispered as he kissed me, his wings wrapped around me as if to keep me all to himself. Slowly yet fiercely, his demon conquered me.
リネット、もっと君が欲しい。
His seduction powers even greater as Satan. Allan, me too.
好きだ、リネット。
His earnest eyes gazed deeply into mine. In front of other demons, he exuded authority, but with me alone, he was tender and submissive. We set aside our demonic identities, leaving just a man and a woman.
俺は今幸せだよ。こうして君を守れるだけの力を得ることができた。
If you guys want a different experience reading this, put some headphones on. Oh my goodness. I just can't. I'm blushing so hard right now, I just can't. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to have a passionate partner like this. Like, I can't even imagine. This man is never like this. This passionate at all. Not even when we first got married. I just can't imagine. Like, Love in Deep Space has some really heavy breathing and sound effects too, but man, Allan takes it all.
だから幸せなんだ。
It seemed he was trying to reassure himself with those words. Although he expressed his joy, occasionally his eyes would express a shadow of loneliness. Happiness had many forms. We had happiness when we were angels, and now we had happiness as demons. Yet Allan had always been fixated on one kind of happiness, that of a human. He consistently yearned for it, time and time again. However, demons could not birth children the way humans did. A demon's pact could steal a human soul, but it was not a creation of life. Unlike the gods of creation, demons could only take. That had not changed, even for Allan as the new Satan. That was why his smile was tinged with sadness. Through the kiss, we transferred our energy back and forth. We desired each other so much that we were beginning to melt into one. While I was lost in that eternal warmth, I thought I heard a voice. Oh? Thought I heard a voice. Now we're in Allan's perspective. Holding the sleeping Lynette in my arms, I returned to our home after being in Satan's castle.
やっぱりここが一番落ち着くな。
So you were so passionate that she just passed right out afterwards. He carried her home. The castle was spacious and convenient, but I could always return here. That's why I tried to be with Lynette more at home. While I was carrying Lynette, I tucked her into bed and laid down next to her. As she slept soundly, I noticed traces of tears on her cheeks. It seemed that I had gotten a bit carried away. Tears? You made her cry? How could you have gotten carried away so much that she cried tears? Oh my goodness.
悪魔の力を注いでいるだけだから。悪いことはしてないつもりなんだけど。
I think it's funny that he's trying to rationalize his behaviors. But if I made her cry, I would start to feel a little guilty. I was well aware of this desire in my heart. It was like a smoldering flame that never went away. A desire for her or for children, or I forget what are we talking about now? This act meant something different for humans. We continued to do it without ever being satisfied because of my wish.
どうして心ってやつはこうも欲張りなんだろうな。
All fears of our happiness being snatched away had vanished the day I became Satan. But even now I fantasized about the joyful days of the past when the three of us, including Sylvie, lived together as a family. Since then, I wonder what it would be like to have a child of our own. But that would never be possible, knowing that only made me want it more. The fact that they're still saying this, are they going to get a child? Like, they keep emphasizing it, how much they want it. Lynette stirred in bed and finally opened her eyes. Oh, Allan, good morning.
おはよう。ごめん。また無理させちゃった。体は辛くない？
No, I'm perfectly fine, but... She looked up at the ceiling with curiosity. I followed her gaze and was taken aback. A sudden light beamed down from an unknown source. What?
なんだこれ。
After I awoke in bed at home, I stared up at the ceiling with Allan. A light shone through our ceiling. That was when I remembered what it was. I recognized this light of purity. It was from the realm of heaven, where we were originally from. I mean, my thoughts is automatically assuming they're giving them a child, but I'm still curious, so I'm just gonna be quiet. It's beautiful.
どうしてだろう。こんなにホッとするのは。
Allan was on the verge of tears, prompting me to caress his face. Then I saw what appeared to be an angel of feather descending from the light. I reached towards it along with Allan. The moment our hands connected, the feather emitted an intense light. The light flooded the entire room. It felt like the warm sensation of someone's embrace. I felt I understood. It was God's blessing. After a while, the light slowly subsided. Yet after the room returned to normal, neither Allan and I could move as we processed what just happened.
今のは。
We exchanged stunned glances and gasped. We sensed something important and understood what had just happened. Allan unleashed his demonic powers. He didn't need to, but he used his powers just to verify that what we thought we knew. It was confirmed.
魂が増えてる。
A soul? Yes, I can sense it too. I placed my hand over my heart and closed my eyes. Within my body, I felt the signs of a new life. It was right there, a new soul created by the blessing of the gods. It's a mixture of both of our souls. The tiny soul feels so warm. I was wondering, I'm like, is it going to be like a stork dropping in a child like in the movies, so they just like get delivered a baby? They wanted it to be of their own blood, so I'm like, she's got to be pregnant with it if they're going to give it, if it's going to be flesh and blood. The gods gave you a miracle baby.
見えるよ。俺と君の魂を混ぜた色の魂が。
I saw this line in the credits on her phone. I saw this line, I'm like, I don't remember that line. Where was that line at? Apparently it was in the ending. His voice was wavering. Even I felt like I was going to cry. We had long given up on this wish of ours. Demons couldn't produce offspring. It should have been impossible for Allan and I to have children together. We understood that for this to happen, the fundamental rules of the world would need to change. We were blessed by a god.
きっと神は本当に言いたんだ。
You were blessed by Lord Jupiter. Being former angels, we understood the existence of the gods better than any human. But this was our first direct experience with the god's miracle. Demons were known for stealing souls. The gods blessed humans, but it never occurred to us that a god could bless a demon with a soul. Allan.
リネット。
He embraced and we looked up. It was as if we could glimpse our home in the heavens from way down in hell. Child's name? I get to put in a child's name? What is this? Our most precious treasure. Oh no, what am I going to do? Enter your name. I can't believe it's making me decide this. What do I do? First of all, are they going to have a boy or a girl? Maybe, you know what? I'm going to let some random thingy tell me this. Hold on. I need like a digital coin toss. Hold on. Coin toss simulator. Okay. It's going to be heads for boy and tails for girl. Okay, we're going to flip. It's flipping. Okay, it's heads. So they're going to have a boy. I wish I could put this on the screen, but I can't because this is on my Switch. So that way you guys can know that I didn't actually pick this. Okay, so what's the boy's name going to be? Like, I don't want to pick a name and have it sound biased because I just like the name. Demon names. Demon name generator. But it's, I mean, yes. Luciferium? What? Apolloan? Apollon? Alden. I don't like any of these names. Like they're too complicated. What about gods? She's a god, right? Gods and goddesses name generator. Gods. You know what? I like Leon, god of labor. Maybe not. Hold on. I could just pick something that sounds god of miracles. That's a, but that's Thugamitas. Like, I just can't. You know what? Don't judge me, okay? You guys have no right to judge me. Boss, god of desire, because Allan has talked about his desire this whole time. His desire is never satisfied, never fulfilled. He keeps wanting more. Can't get enough of her, so we're doing Boss, god of desire. Yep, there we go. Confirm. I said confirm. Why won't you confirm? Dang it. Oh, are they having twins? What? Oh my goodness, now I need a goddess name. Or is it going to be random? Are they having twins or is it going to be random? I feel like I'm in Rune Factory. I feel like I'm making names for my children in Rune Factory. Okay. We're doing goddesses' names. Oh my goodness. This video is going to be so long. You know what? I really like this name. Like, it sounds really pretty. So, no, oh, it's R-A. Hold on, go back. No. L, okay. I like this one because it's really pretty, so we're going with this one. Lyra, god of triumph. Okay, now can we do this? Okay. This guy was waiting. Oh my goodness, they had twins. Oh. Look at Allan, he's so handsome and mature now. They're so cute. Look at the little tiny demon ears. This is so adorable. Well, I got my fantasy number 2. First Allan became Satan, and now they have children. Lulled by a sweet melody, I drifted into sleep. Warm sunlight streamed through the window, gently highlighting the white bed sheets. This voice, Allan's voice. I heard Allan's voice singing a lullaby. I didn't know when, but I had dozed off. I opened my eyes to find Allan with our 2 children. Fossa and Lyra, those are the names of our children.
Okita.
Yes, I must have fallen asleep after tucking them in.
そうだね。
Allan regarded them as if they were the world's most precious treasures. He squinted slightly, affection evident in his gaze towards our children. One was a demon, the other was an angel. Oh, seriously? You can wait, how do you birth an angel? Like, how is that possible? I would just assume that they would just, I don't know, be human? Or demons? Man, the gods must have really loved you if you gave birth to an angel. The boy is an angel, obviously, because the girl's got demon ears. They were fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. They could already speak, laugh, and cry. They were just like human children. We hoped that their existence could bridge the gap between Celestia and Hell. It felt like they were the culmination of the gods' wishes. But they were unaware of their true identities. We raised them in the human realm, not once mentioning angels, demons, or gods. Oh, really? Well, eventually the girl's gonna ask why she has different ears from everyone else. We wish for them to live free from such preconceived ideas.
よく寝てるね。
I mean, I get it though. Like, I've tried so hard to protect my children from the world, and you just can't. Like, it gets in eventually, but it's easier when they're younger. Yes, they're such good children, Fossa and Lyra. I reached out and carefully patted our children's heads without waking them. Born from the union of our souls, they bore a resemblance to both of us. Foss was always curious, while Lyra was more calm but cried easily. They were just like us when we were angels. Allan, your lullaby is so soothing that even I drifted off to sleep. They're both sleeping soundly now.
だといいな。
Allan had the expression of an angel. He often lulled me to sleep back then too. We would fly around, play, and rest when weary. Allan would gently pat me to help me sleep. That was a lullaby to me. I would never forget the warmth of his touch and the tender look in his eyes that remained with me today. Allan.
Hmm?
Nothing. I just wanted to say your name.
そっか。リネット。
ん？
うん。俺も呼びたくなったんだ。
How could you fall for that? Obviously, he's gonna do it back. Gentle laughter filled the room. I closed my eyes and nestled closer to my children. A comforting sensation enveloped me as he watched. Time continued to flow in this tranquil setting. How has hell been lately?
そうだね。随分と落ち着いてきたよ。
What does the demons think of Satan having children? That's good to hear. My husband, the father of Fasa and Leah, was also Satan, the ruler of hell. Yes, we know. Thanks for reiterating that. While we lived in the human realm, he would commute to hell daily, dressed in a full suit. Oh, he he goes into the castle looking all snazzy, huh? This two-winged demon was the mightiest in hell. His wings could propel him skyward, straight to Celestia for negotiations with Lord Jupiter. Oh, really? Hell and Celestia now coexisted harmoniously. Any discontent among the demons regarding this decision had been quelled. We continued to live peacefully like this. In tales from distant lands, the god of the underworld vowed to take 1,000 souls daily, while the god of Celestia promised to create 1,500. The cycle of life and death persisted. Good and evil would continue to exist, as did hell, Celestia, heaven, and the underworld.
さてと、そろそろ出勤しないとな。じゃあ出かけてくる。19時には帰るよ。夜は何が食べたい？2番街の方に寄る予定だから買って帰るよ。
Okay, so they don't age, but their children do age. So are they going to have to keep moving if they're going to appear to be ageless still? This, I mean, doesn't really matter because it's the indie, but it's just things that I'm curious about. Thanks. In that case, could you get the rotisserie chicken from our favorite place?
わかった。あれ2人とも好きだもんな。買って帰るよ。
I bet Fossa and Lyra will fight over it again. I'll prepare some soup in the meantime.
ありがとう。
See you later, Allan.
行ってきます。リネット。
As our children rested, we exchanged smiles and a tender kiss. The miracle that occurred that day brought this mysterious daily life to us. With our wish fulfilled, daily life now had so much color as our children continued to grow. In our centuries of life, we had traveled to numerous places and met many people. Heaven, hell, and the human realm. We were who we were today because of the things we experienced in those places. No matter where or when, we would always be happy. We cherished every moment of our daily life. For centuries to come, our happiness would remain unchanged. It was no longer a wish. We could make sure of it ourselves. After all, we were the most formidable demon pair. Our nature, whether angelic or demonic, was irrelevant. No matter the circumstances, we would prevail. Because the one whom I whispered words of love would always be by my side. Aww, sweet and spicy in. I know, man, it took forever. Like 2 hours later. Took forever.
信じられないほどの甘い時間を君と過ごして、信じられないほど刺激的な奇跡を君からもらった。この手に君を、そしてこの胸に君との子を抱きしめられること、神に感謝してもしきれない。 君と子供たちが生きるこの世界が平和であるよう守り続けるよ。一生離れない。スイートでスパイシーなマイダーリン。いや、マイハニー。
How was it in the translation? He said, no, my honey, or my darling. That wasn't. That's not in here. I say 2 hours later, but I'm actually going to cut out a lot of the name searching because it actually did take a really long time to figure out the names. Oh my goodness. And I said I didn't want this to be a 3-hour video. Like, did the last episode really end at the sweet and spicy end? I feel like it didn't. That was way too long. Yeah, like the last episode ends. Our story starts here. The sweet and spicy darling. A 2-hour ending. I mean, if this doesn't scream this is the finale route, then I don't know what does. Like, I don't even know. All of those episodes have been unlocked. Yes, thank you. His comments have been added to the map. And I still have 3 more endings to record. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this video is gonna take forever. Okay, let's do the bad end. The bad end doesn't give us a CG. That gave us 2 CGs. I get 3 CGs in this episode, so I'm not going to use the child one, obviously, because I don't want that spoiled. You guys will have to, watch it to learn about that. You guys get to hear about me selecting my child names. It's all going to be a surprise. But bad end is save file 3, so this one. I think so. Or is it this one? I wish I could see what the choices are. Pursue the matter. It's not that one. Okay, it's this one. Okay. I couldn't walk anymore, so I contemplated what to do next. We're going to pass through the gate. Which one am I on? Is it? I think it's the pink is highlighting. I want to pass through the gate. Okay, I didn't pick the right one. Hold on. Okay, so blue. Blue is the choice. I want to pass through the gate. Let's just end it all. I didn't think I was this weak, but if I pass through, I can finally be free. Temptation almost won, pulling me towards despair. I planned to find Lord Pluto, no matter how long it took. I had a clear goal, but no path to reach it. There seemed to be an insurmountable rift between these 2 points. The futility of it all was sapping away at my soul. Somebody, please help me. I fought back tears, resisting the urge to go through the gate. I knew I had to continue to walk. Allan. I had to try everything in order to see him again.
Lireto!
Allan? I thought he must have been hearing things in my deliriousness, but when I turned around, I realized that he was actually there. Allan, he was really here. I want to skip red until we find something that's new now. Okay, they're going to pursue the matter. I won't forget that kind dream, bad darling ending. Oh my goodness. I bet you Allan's gonna fail. He's gonna turn around. I knew that Allan was in pain. I could tell that he was hearing voices. No matter how much I tried to call out to him, he couldn't hear me. Jacqueline wasn't here to facilitate our conversation after all. Allan, it's alright, I'm right here. All of you shut up. Look how long his hair is, man. I didn't realize it was that long. Yes, it's alright. Let's go back to the surface together. The higher we climbed, the more anxious his voice became. Unable to see or hear me, he was tortured by the voices of the trial the entire time.
リネット頼む一言でいい声を聞かせてくれ
Allan. I tried to reach out to calm him, but my hands couldn't touch him. My dear Allan was in pain, close to tears, but I had no way of reaching him. We continued climbing that long, long stairway. The surface is so far away. Our surroundings were unchanging, so I worried that we would never reach the surface. I felt like we were climbing the stairs endlessly. How many days had we been here? With each ascending step, I almost tripped and fell. I forced my faltering legs to continue moving. Our climb felt endless, especially without being able to talk to each other or reassure him that I was okay. Yet anything with a beginning also had an end. At last I saw the light up ahead. It was the gate leading to the surface.
地上だ
No. Allan ran towards the light. The moment he passed the gate, I heard a voice that wasn't mine. Thank goodness I managed to get out too. I heard a voice that wasn't mine. Voice whispered, but that wasn't my voice.
よかった戻ってこられたんだね
Allan responded to the voice that wasn't mine and turned around. No, Allan. When he realized that voice was the final trial, it was already too late. Only a few more steps had remained, but they crumbled before me. Oh no.
リネット
The voices deceived him in the end. He turned around right as he stepped onto the surface. I was still on the stairway, but it was too late. His outstretched hand couldn't reach me. In ancient times, a story was often told. In that story, Orpheus tried to bring Eurydice back from the underworld by playing beautiful music on his lyre. But in the end, he still lost her because he turned around. Perhaps the price he paid wasn't enough. Believing the music of the lyre could resurrect the dead was overly optimistic.
よだリネット
Allan extended his hand toward me, but I couldn't grasp it. The ground beneath me gave way, swallowing me whole. The boundary separating the dead from the living tore us apart forever. He remained in the light while I continued to fall. But I will wait. I won't pass through the underworld's gate, and I will keep waiting. Even if it takes centuries or a millennia, I'll wait. So please don't cry. I'll never forget you. Please don't be sad. I believe we'll meet again, someday. Love is over. Oh my goodness, that sounds so tragic. I was really sad what she said to him in the end. I'll remember you. Please don't cry. Oh, but he cried so much. Did you hear him scream her name? Well, that was the bad end. Now we're going to do the sweet bitter end. Let's say file 1, so this one. Sweet bitter end. Okay, so they're going to live happily ever after as humans. That's what I'm guessing. We want to explore the world. We're not going to go back to being a demon. Allan, let's go see the world. Allan looked puzzled by my suggestion. I smiled to reassure him. Now that we're demons, we can experience things only immortals can. I want to see the world more. There were so many places in this world, I wondered if a single lifetime was enough to visit them all.
せっかく悪魔になれたか君はいつも俺に希望をくれるねだからもう君なしじゃ生きられないんだ
With that, we set out on our journey. Towns rose and fell as we traveled, sceneries changed time and again. We traveled everywhere, experiencing a new life every time. like putting sugar in coffee. Sweet, bitter, darling. Okay. Like putting sugar in coffee. I mean, I like sugar in coffee. They're in Ryuki's hometown. Allan and I descended upon a Japanese town called Sakshi. There we go. I remember it now. Sakshi. Oh, I didn't know Japan was like this. It's completely different from Lost York.
ああ、そうだね。今はこんな風になってるんだ。以前来た時とは全然違うな。
Oh, you've been to Japan before, Allan.
まあね。世界中を巡って調べ事をしていた時があったからさ。
Wasn't that... Allan hadn't specified, but I suspected that the visit he was referring to was when he was trying to prevent me from being erased. We had spent about 400 years apart, so the landscape of Japan must have been completely different back then. I doubted he had been in the right mindset to appreciate the sights at the time. So I walked arm in arm with him now, hoping that he could truly savor the experience this time. Do you understand Japanese?
な、言語だけは一通りマスターしたよ。なんたって俺はメルビル教授だからね。
Professor Melville, after all. Oh yeah, that's right. I remembered how he taught linguistics to middle schoolers when we lived in Washington. Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about when he was a professor in her class when she went to school. Allan had worked as a teacher, a bartender, a souvenir shop owner. He adopted countless roles over the course of our lives as demons. I wonder what roles we would take here in Japan. Maybe a sushi chef like in the movie. What do they say when customers enter again?
何考えてるの?
What do they say? Allan smiled as he looked at me. That smile always made me so happy. Nothing. I was just imagining what you would look like as a sushi chef.
寿司職人?
You know, remember that movie we watched? I thought you'd look good in that outfit.
いいね。でもあれは修行が大変だって話だよ。
Is it?
まあ。でも君が見てみたいって言うならいくらでも挑戦するよ。やったことない仕事をするのは楽しそうだしね。
Ever since we decided to travel the world together, Allan embraced everything with a positive attitude. It seemed he had chosen to release his worries and live a life simply. We clung to our human lifestyles, while also embracing our identities as demons. With that in mind, we enjoyed every moment. I want to try working at a Japanese marriage agency. I'm curious about the romantic culture here.
いいね。いろいろやってみよう。
Yes. Oh, Allan, look. They have a bubble tea here.
本当だ。へえ。日本のバブルティーか。せっかくだし飲もうか。
Yes. Typically, an incubus had no reason to eat human food. Allan only ate food when he joined others for a meal. His demon only fed on my dreams. However, if there was one human treat he was fond of, it was bubble tea. I want one. After we purchased one, we took a sip and savored the nostalgic taste. We often had bubble tea in Lost York. I'll take another sip. I realize it's been years since we were there last. It's delicious.
うまいな。やっぱりこの黒タピオカの酸っぱさが一番美味しく感じるよ。
Sour black tapioca. I forgot he calls sweet things sour. Oh. Allan referred to the sweet and chewy tapioca pearls as sour. He always used that term. Something about that made me happy, and I couldn't keep my eyes off him. I snapped a photo of Allan sipping his bubble tea with my smartphone. He looked puzzled by the shutter sound. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to capture that moment. Though we spent every day together, I wanted to take a snapshot of every single one of his expressions. Perhaps that was a bit obsessive. Look at that face. She's so unsure of herself. Allan and I were always greedy. We wanted to cherish every fleeting moment of our lives.
そっか。俺も同じだから、わかるよ。
We unlocked his phone to reveal a photo of us from when we had made our wedding cake. It was his wallpaper. He put that as his wallpaper. That sure brings back memories. We enjoyed those days, sticky sweet like a wedding cake topped with whipped cream. And now we were drinking the sour bubble tea that was actually sweet.
そういえばこのバブルティーのことを日本だとタピオカって呼ぶんだって。
Really, isn't tapioca just the squishy balls?
なあ、でもこの国ではこの飲み物自体をタピオカとかタピオカミルクティーとかって呼んでるらしいよ。あとは飲むことをタピルって言ってた時代もあるんじゃなかったかな。
Let's get some tappy. Oh, really? Allan was so knowledgeable about many things. He was a professor after all. I want some tappy. I'm surprised about how much he knows about Japanese culture. He sure loves his bubble tea. Then, while in Japan, we should call it tapioca, not bubble tea.
まあ、俺たちの間ではバブルティーのままでもいいとは思うけどね。
Even if our perceptions of the world were different, it was fine. All that mattered was that we understood each other. As a new country, a new culture, and a new chapter in our lives, I was filled with excitement, wondering how it would look like this time. Say how or what? How? There were lots of others who traveled the world like we did. We explored all of Japan. We took overnight buses and simply enjoyed our life there. Years later, we left Japan. It was like adding sugar to our coffee for a new taste. And then we went to France. Oh my goodness. Now what? Wow, it's so different from Japan. Speaking of Japan, my husband and I are planning on going for our 20th anniversary to Japan. Leaving the kids behind at home. The youngest will be 17 by then, and then we're thinking about going to Japan. I want to go to like shrines. I want to go to shrines. I want to go during the spring. So I want to hit a sakura festival while I'm there. And I don't know. I have all the stuff that I want to do on Japan. I definitely want to visit some shrines and some. I want to visit some of the culture there. I want to see it. I love Japanese culture. Anyway, this is different. The country of romance. Ever since I heard about that, I'd always wanted to visit this country. As we descended upon France, we noticed how different it was compared to Japan, Lost York, Washington, and Baltimore. Every place was a new adventure, but strolling through France was special. Suddenly, Allan laughed beside me.
本当に君はいつまで経っても好奇心旺盛だね。
Really?
全然変わらない。もちろん俺もだろうけどさ。
Wow. Allan smiled and hugged me openly. As they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Oh, really? In France, the country of romance, he probably felt compelled to express his love for me in public. Allan's ability to adapt quickly was something he had learned over many years of travels. He wanted to enjoy everything proactively and experience life like the locals. That was the feeling I got. I suddenly spotted something out of the corner of my eye. It was a cute red bicycle, and it appeared that they were available to rent. Look, Allan, that rental bike is so cute.
本当だ。今は随分簡単に借りられるみたいだね。久しぶりに乗ってみる？
Didn't he like share cycling or whatever he called it in his other route? The last time I rode a rental bike was in Lost York. I felt nostalgic, so I smiled and nodded. Yeah. Aw. That's cute. Look at his face. I mounted the bike and stepped on the pedals. I could feel the warm sun and gentle breeze blow through my hair. Wow. It had been a while since I'd ridden a bike. The pedals felt light and it moved more efficiently than I remembered. It seemed that bicycles had evolved over the past century. This feels great.
はあ、気持ちいいな。こんなに楽しいのに乗るのを忘れてたなんてもったいないな。
Yeah, but I might be out of practice. I better be careful not to fall over.
君なら大丈夫だよ。何でもすぐにできちゃうだろ。
Allan stated those words of trust to me with a gentle smile. That smile looked so bright it warmed my heart. It was like a touch of spring air. He had looked so worried in the past. He'd always have been wary and tried to protect me, shouldering all of his burdens alone. But now Allan seemed at ease. He was pedaling effortlessly and enjoyed the moment without a care in the world. Look, you can see the Eiffel Tower from here.
本当だ。行ってみようか。
Sure. Those rental bikes took us anywhere we wanted. Sometimes we would stop to take a break. We would stop by a cute cafe, kiss for a moment, then hop back on our bikes and continue our journey through France. It does sound like a sweet, bitter end, doesn't it? Although when it says bitter, I assumed it was going to be sad, but I guess not. This is so much fun, Allan. Where do you want to go next?
君とならどこへでも。
Our red bicycle zipped through the streets. We felt so light, it was almost as if we had wings, soaring through France like the angels we once were. Work and play, we tried out so many different things over and over in so many new places. We had all the time in the world to enjoy everything. Thanks to that, Allan's sorrow had been lifted. Aww. Where would we go next? What would we do next? Even the time we spent discussing our next trip had become cherished memories for us. We would continue to travel the world and live on for eternity. We found joy in this lifestyle, so we would always be happy. I didn't think we'd ever get tired of living this way. We felt no boredom or loneliness, just endless discovery. Our beliefs would shape the world around us. We believed in eternal happiness, so Allan and I would simply choose to continue living that way. Sweet to bitter end. I was wondering if there's going to be a little printout that he's going to read at the end, but I guess not. Okay. 2.5 hours later, we still have 2 endings to go. I've been doing spicy ends last. I think every episode that I have endings, I think spicy end is last. So we'll just keep it that way. Okay, so the sweet end is say 4. So 4. I worried about what kind of deal Allan had made with Satan. We're going to not pursue the matter. Most demons lacked kindness. They wouldn't lend a helping hand without demanding something in return. That meant he sacrificed something important to come here, all so that he could find me. Allan. Sweet darling.
おいで。地上へ至る階段への道の開き方を教えてもらったんだ。
I'm going to skip. Alright, sweet darling, catcher of the Daphne. Daphne? Isn't that a god? Pretty sure it is.
何を言っても無駄だ。俺は彼女がいるって信じているんだ。
Allan's voice echoed as he shouted into the void. Some unseen presence seemed to taunt him. No matter what I said, he didn't seem to hear. The jack-o'-lantern wasn't present after all.
俺は取引をしたんだ。だから彼女は絶対に地上へ戻れる。
He overcomes his challenge early in this one. Allan continued climbing the steps with that firm resolve. He continued climbing up the steps little by little. Will we ever reach the top? The repetitiveness of our surroundings played tricks on my mind, making me feel like we were trapped in a loop. How long have we been here? With every step my legs threatened to give way, despite the fatigue I trudged on. Initially, I counted each step, but after about 1,000, I lost count. The journey seemed endless, the distance too vast, especially when he couldn't hear or see me. But every journey, no matter how long, must come to an end. I finally saw the light at the surface. It's the surface. Seeing that light, I felt overwhelmingly joy and raced past Allan up the steps. I went through the gate and turned around. Allan, we're back. She's there. For the first time, Allan responded to my voice. He looked up at me, relieved.
よかった。本当に俺の後ろを歩いてきてくれていたんだね。
He smiled and reached out his hand to me. The climb had been long and treacherous, but he finally reached the surface. Allan, thank you for saving me. I owe you my life.
そうだね。サタンは約束を守ってくれたんだ。
Now, what did you give up? Allan? I had come back to life, but I slowly realized that there was something wrong with Allan. His face was laced with joy and sorrow. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that he had not passed through the gates. He was still standing on the very last step. Allan, what's wrong?
俺はそちら側に行けないんだ。
Why not? This is supposed to be the sweet end. Huh? His smile persisted while I looked at him, confused. He lowered the hand that couldn't reach me. I felt his warmth dissipating and dreaded what came next. It seemed as if this would be the last time we would see each other. Wait, Allan, what do you mean you can't come to this side?
助けに行くたびに支払った代償を俺は払わなきゃいけないんだ。
You know, I said, obviously, he didn't sacrifice himself to save her, because then he's putting her in the same position that he's in, and he doesn't like that position. So why would you do it to her?
でも大丈夫。君なら大丈夫だ。
You'll be fine. We could have said the same to you, you know. Allan took one step back. Before I could chase after him, the gates between us slammed shut. Oh my goodness. When the gates vanished, I didn't know what to do. How dare you leave her? Like, I can't. I would be furious with him if he did this to me. I would be so mad. Like, how dare you save me just to leave me here all alone? How long is this ending going to be, man? Ugh. All I could hear was the sounds of the waves. What did he mean? What did he mean by the price he paid to save me? What did he mean when he said he couldn't come to this side? I sat down where I stood and put my hands on the ground. I had arrived back in the human realm alive and well, but Allan was not here. I couldn't sense his presence anywhere. Huh? I tried to use my demonic powers to find him, but I still could not sense him anywhere. There was no trace of him in the human realm or in hell either. The last thing I saw was Allan's smile. See, this is why I thought it would be the bittersweet end. He was smiling as if to tell me that I would be alright. But he was missing. When he mentioned the price he paid, my heart was torn in two. Could it be? Could it be that he sacrificed himself to save me? Resurrecting the dead was against the rules of the world. Allan could not offer the song of a liar as Orpheus did. What else did he have to give? Could it be that Satan had demanded Allan's soul in exchange for my life? Did Allan sign the pact even knowing that he would disappear? He said he would offer his soul if Satan demanded it. I already knew that was the kind of man he was. I have to go look for him. There was no use sitting around. Nothing would change if I just sat there. I couldn't give up yet. I refused to accept that he has sacrificed his life for mine. Man, this is going to be forever, isn't it? So I started to look for him. I chased after many traces of that melancholic smile. Allan had always thought of me first, always sacrificing himself for me. I believed in my heart that he still existed somewhere, So I wandered around, relentless in my search for him. Why would you be searching the human realm, though? Like, I would be searching in hell first, then the human realm. So if she's doing this, instead of going and confronting Satan directly, does that mean we're going to find him reborn somewhere? That's what I'm guessing. Maybe he walked through the gate and he got reborn. Allan, I wouldn't accept that he was truly gone. I was terrible at giving up. Please come back to me. I still had so much I wanted to say to you. It was said that human life was born from the depths of the sea. I remember reading an encyclopedia as a child and being captivated by the ocean. Such thoughts were truly nostalgic. It was only after 20 years, but when I reincarnated as a human, Allan had always protected me. Whenever I was near water, demons would attempt to reach me, but Allan would fend them off. Now the roles were reversed. I would be the one to protect him this time. And so I watched over him again today. Oh, he was reborn. But he forgot he lost his memory, so now she's watching over him. Eventually he's going to remember, obviously. This is the sweet end. It's got to end nice.
じゃあ次はあれ持ってきていい?
Oh, he sounds like a child.
怪我はしないようにね。
Over a decade had passed since that day. I was brought back to life after Sylvie's attack. When I returned to hell, I learned that Allan was truly dead. I was told that he paid the ultimate price to rescue me, his life. I pleaded to Satan to resurrect him, offering my own powers, but he declared it impossible. I even sought the help of Pluto, but it was no use. I wandered the underworld and prayed relentlessly. How many years had passed? One day, I crossed paths with Lady Persephonea in the underworld. She assured me that there was no need for me to mourn any longer. And after a few days later, a human bearing Allan's soul was birthed into the human realm. I followed his scent and found the boy that bore the soul of my beloved. Aww, so cute. He resided in a small home with pristine walls and a vibrant red roof surrounded by daphne blooms. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe he was okay. So he died. So he didn't make the choice to willingly go through the gate. His soul was gone. Satan took his soul. Like, I couldn't imagine him making the choice to go through the gate and forget her. Anyway, after echoed daily from within, it became my mission to protect him from harm and keep other demons away from him. A simple goal brought me happiness. I desired nothing else besides this. But then he discovered my hiding spot amidst the daphne blooms. Oh.
やっと見つけた.
I was hiding in the bushes when Allan found me. He plucked a flower and offered it to me.
こんにちは、お姉さん。お花はいかがですか?
He's so adorable. I'm guessing he's like a teenager right now. You can see me. Humans shouldn't have been able to see demons. His parents couldn't see me, so why? I thought I kept myself hidden. I mean, he's got angelic powers just like you did.
見えるよ。でも、いつもすぐに隠れてしまうから、ずっと会って話がしたいって思ってた。
This is so cute. I love this picture. If the spicy ending isn't better than this, I'm definitely using this one. Although, if the spicy ending has Allan in his normal looking form, I might use that, because then the CG would give away that he's probably reborn. We don't want that either. Anyway. Balancing on his tiptoes, he adorned my hair with a flower and smiled. That habit of his was so nostalgic that it made me want to cry. Why? How was he able to see me? Although I wished to remain hidden, part of me yearned for him to acknowledge my presence. I wasn't prepared for this revelation. I didn't realize I still had these hopeful feelings. The demon Allan Melville was dead. My parent angel was gone forever. No, he's not. His soul has been reborn, but it's still reborn. It's still him. Even he thought so when you were reborn. Yet, here was this child possessing Allan's soul, smiling tenderly at me. But he would never remember our past. The rules of reincarnation dictated that all memories of past lives would be erased. Did you forget how you remembered him? She just forgot everything. Please, I didn't want to have hope. I was about to cry, but he smiled again.
ちっちゃい頃から何度も夢を見たんだ。あなたの夢を。
You dream of me.
うん。あなたが泣いてる夢。その夢を見るたびにあなたに会いたくてたまらなくなった。早く大人にならなきゃなんて思っていた。
So you can keep her from not crying?
だからようやく会えて嬉しい。あなたをこうして撫でられる年齢になれたのが嬉しいんだ。
So adorable. He was much younger than I was, but he patted my head with the same smile that Allan made when he tried to spoil me.
ずっとあなたを探していた気がする。ちっちゃい頃からどこかに帰りたいって思ってた。会いたい人がいるってずっと思ってたんだ。顔もわからないし声もないのに悲しんでる気がしてずっと探していた。だからあなたを一目見て分かったよ。僕が探していたのはあなただったんだって。
I shook my head, trying to hold back tears. He wasn't Allan. He was a human, a different person. No, he's not. Why don't you understand this? You reincarnated. You remembered him. Like, you went through all of this. I don't understand. I couldn't allow myself to give in. I couldn't let my selfish desires ruin someone's life. I'm not that person. I'm a big bad demon.
悪魔?
That's exactly what he said to her. Yes, haven't you read about it in books? Demons are very bad people. I remembered how Allan once told me that he was a bad demon. At that time, I was a human. He maintained his distance so that I would find happiness. Thinking this, I echoed the words he once used. So, you shouldn't listen to a demon, understand?
わからないな。
I don't understand.
だってあなたはこんなに優しそうな顔をしている。僕が転びそうになった時だっていつもこっそり助けてくれていた。
You noticed?
ん？分かってた。だからそんな突き放すようなこと言ってもダメだよ。
You can't get rid of me. I am always going to be here. But
あなたと一緒にいる。だからもう泣かないで。
oh, it's so sweet. I wasn't crying, but those gentle words felt so cruel that I almost started to. But I can't. I'm a demon. No one besides you can see me.
それでも僕はあなたと一緒に過ごしたい。
But I don't age. If we stay together, it will be hard for you.
あなたを一人にする方が嫌だよ。
His smile carried the same tender gaze as he brushed his fingers through my hair. The scent of daphne blooms lingered in the air. He smiled from a height that I wasn't accustomed to.
僕が一緒にいるから。だから、そんなに悲しい顔をしないで。
One of the petals fell from the daphne he had placed in my hair. The significance of the daphne was eternity, immortality, sweet memories, and unrequited love. It would be fine, I thought. It would only be temporary. It was just one moment in his life. Once he matured, he would understand. Humans and demons age differently. One day we would have to part ways, since a demon like me wouldn't be allowed to take him away. He was human after all. How many times had he wished for my human-like happiness? Now it was my turn. I prayed that he would receive all the happiness in the world. Thank you. You're a kind boy.
言っておくけれど、本気だよ。
He's like, I'm not leaving you. I'm sure that once he's older, you'll find some way to make him a demon again. Yeah, I know.
本当かな。
He's pouting now. He looked a bit upset since I was treating him like a child. Once he matured, he would find happiness as a human. When that time came, I would wish that for him. And when his soul would be reborn again, I would find him. I would find him every time for the rest of eternity. No matter how many times, I would never falter. Wherever he was, I would always ensure his happiness. Aww. I wanted to see them older in the sweet end. I mean, this is cute too, but this is a bittersweet end. It's sweet, but at the same time, it's like she's just going to be with him when he reborns again and again and again. That's the bitter part of that, but whatever. I got it backwards. It's fine. The ending where they went traveling throughout the world, that was the sweet end, right? In my opinion. Whatever. Fine. Alright, we're gonna let the spicy end now. What save is it? Save file 2. 3 hours later. Oh my goodness. Okay, so save file 2, the minty bath bomb. Let's use the minty one. I've heard it gives a cool sensation even in hot water, so I want to try it out.
OK。家の周りにもミントを植えてるから、気に入れば自分たちで作ってみてもいいかもな。
Okay, it'll be our original homemade bath bomb. We can give one to Clarice. Do you think she will like it?
あ、きっと RB と使ってくれるよ。RB がお湯に浸かってる姿はあまり想像できないけどな。
I was just thinking the same thing. I was reading it as he was reading it, and then he paused, and then I'm like, are we in a bath? I'm like, I guess. I don't want to imagine Claire's cuddling with her little familiar in a bathtub. You got that right. Maybe RB will actually like it. You know, in Japan, the happy bars enjoy hot springs. We continue to chat about our close friends as I handed the minty bath bomb to Allan.
このバスボムを使う時の注意点はと。
He scanned the instructions as he prepared the bath. The soothing sound of the water running and the scent of soap enveloped us. I leaned into Allan and closed my eyes. Alright, I think we can skip to the next one now. This one. We are not going to pass through the gate. We're going to endure it. We're going to move away from the gate. And then we're going to pursue the matter. And then I'm going to skip into the end. Alright, last ending, spicy darling. Forgive all, love all.
彼女を信じているんだ。お前たちの惑わしは無駄だ。
Allan yelled into the void. He must have been hearing a voice trying to deceive him, a voice I couldn't hear. No matter what I said, he couldn't hear me. After all, Jack-o'-lantern wasn't here to facilitate our conversation. Allan, don't worry, I'm right behind you.
きっと彼女はそこにいる。俺は信じているんだ。
That's right, stay focused, don't turn around.
そうだ。振り返る必要はない。
Allan shouldn't have been able to hear my voice, but it felt like we were communicating. Little by little, we moved up the stairs together. We climbed for what felt like days and months, each of us placing our utmost trust in the other. Days and months. Dang, I can't imagine climbing a staircase for that long. The surface is so far away. Our surroundings were unchanging, so I worried that we would never reach the surface. I felt like we were climbing the stairs endlessly. How many days have we been here? With each ascending step, I almost tripped and fell. I forced my faltering legs to continue moving. Lost count after 1,000 steps. The climb, I felt endless, especially without being able to talk to each other, reassuring him that I was okay. If anything with a beginning also had an end. At last, we saw the gate leading to the surface.
地上だ。
Allan's face illuminated with hope when he realized the end was in sight. I sensed the tension leaving his body. Allan, don't turn around, okay? It almost seemed as if he was about to turn around, so I pushed him with all my might. Stay focused, don't turn around. Though my hands couldn't touch him, he seemed to sense my warning and tensed up again. This was following the same lines as the sweet and spicy end.
と、こういう時こそ気を引き締めないとな。
That's the spirit. Resisting the urge to sprint, Allan approached the exit cautiously, taking one step at a time. I tried to match his pace. 3 steps to go, then 2, finally the last one. We made it. We passed through the gate of the underworld and emerged in the human realm. Allan and I made it out together. Allan.
リレット、よかった。
I embraced Allan and he wrapped his arms around me in return, but just a moment later he grimaced in pain. Now, what did he do? What was his sacrifice in this one? Allan clutched one eye, his face contorted with agony. There was obviously something wrong. Did he give up an eye? Allan, what's wrong?
なんでもない。
Clearly not nothing. Allan held his hand over his eye and gritted his teeth. I could see his body convulsing in pain. I didn't know what to do. Trying not to panic, I rubbed his back, trying to soothe him. What do I do? Do I call an ambulance?
いや、これは怪我じゃない。それにすぐ収まるはずだから。
Allan collapsed to the ground while trying to endure the pain. He gritted his teeth while beads of sweat dripped onto the sand below. After what seemed like a moment of torture, Allan's pain subsided. Allan, are you okay?
ああ、終わったみたいだ。
Although still panting heavily, Allan let out a deep sigh of relief. However, when I looked at him, something seemed different. Oh, he's got one blue eye. I had known that eye for hundreds of years, but its color was unfamiliar now. Is this because of your deal with Satan? Allan remained silent. He once explained that a pact with a demon didn't always involve souls. Sometimes it concerned eyes or organs. Allan, did you exchange your eye for a pact with Satan? After a pause, Allan gave a nod.
そうすれば冥界に行き、君を取り戻せるってサタンから持ちかけられたからね。悪魔の目には力がよく込められている。だからサタンも上級悪魔である俺の目を奪う機会をずっと狙っていたんだと思うよ。じゃなきゃあんなにすぐに契約書を用意できないだろうからね。まったく 相変わらず抜け目がない。
Oh no, can you get your eye back?
もう支払ってしまったんだ。力はサタンに譲渡された。でも大丈夫だよ。すぐにまた力は取り戻せる。
While he was confident about reclaiming his powers, he made no mention of retrieving the eye itself. Oh no.
そんな顔しないで。俺が支払った代償は軽いくらいだ。
I know, right? Like, I would give up an eye for my beloved too. It's not your voice, so you could talk to her. It's not both of your eyes, so you can still see her. It's not being reborn over and over again, so you're still with her. I mean, so far the spicy ending's looking pretty good.
とにかく君が冥界の扉をくぐる前に間に合ってよかった。
Allan spoke with genuine emotion as we hugged. He held my shoulders and wore a look of concern.
それより君の方だよ。俺をかばってあんなことをするなんて。
Now he's gonna scold you. Reckless.
キューピッドの矢の前に飛び出したことだ。
Wasn't even Cupid, it was Satan. Satan shot her. I'm sorry, I acted without thinking when I believed you were in danger.
おかげで俺は助かったけれど。頼むから、もう二度とあんなことしないでくれ。
I'm truly sorry, Allan. This all happened because Sylvie invaded hell. Remembering Sylvie attacking the demons made me anxious. Do you know where Sylvie went? What's the situation in hell now?
なんとか追い返せはしたけれど、暴走する悪魔たちに手をつけられなくなった。深海に一斉に攻め込むって聞いたよ。
Driven out, is that in quotation marks because it was Satan, so... But he was using Sylvie's body, so I don't think he would let Sylvie go. They plan to invade.
ああ。そもそも悪魔たちは神に阻止されるせいで好きに人間の魂を食えなくてずっと苛立っていたんだ。そこに今回のキューピッド事件があっただろう。おかげでついにサタンも出てくる事態になった。サタンが深海に攻め込むらしいんだ。こうなったらもう俺たちにできることはない。俺も目を力を失った。このままじゃ君を守りきれない。
Are they just gonna go somewhere and ride it out then?
だから二人で逃げよう。
I knew it. Let's run away. Let's don't be anywhere near it. Run away? But where?
神と悪魔の力の及ばない場所。一箇所だけ思い当たるところがあるんだ。
Is it in Greece?
神話の時代にジュピターがクロノスから隠れた場所。クレータ島のディクテオン洞窟ならきっと神も悪魔も気づかない。
I just thought Greece because there was that like underground temple place. I don't know this place.
だから深海と悪魔界が落ち着くまではそこで隠れてやり過ごそう。俺と君の二人だけでさ。
So Allan and I sought refuge in the cave beyond the reach of the gods. I later learned of the intense war between Celestia and Hell. Upon hearing this, Clarice and Arby, who are familiar from the human realm, probably found their own hiding place. No other demons found our cave. They all wanted to go to war with Celestia. I hope everyone's okay.
みんなが心配。
Yeah. Mom, Dad, Chi, I just hope everyone's safe. Allan and I huddled closer and looked up. Of course, there was no way we could see Celestia from our hideout. Since I was a former god, we didn't want to battle them as demons, but we couldn't restrain the demons either. Our priority was our own safety. All I wished for was for Allan and I to survive. Having faced death, this became my sole focus. I really did die that time. Perhaps the solitude of the cave gave us room to reflect. Only now did I feel the weight of my vulnerability. Without Allan's intervention, I would have been lost in the underworld forever. I thought I would never be able to talk to Allan again. I rested my head on his shoulder and held his arm.
怖い
No, I just want to be close to you.
リネット。俺もだよ。もっと君のぬくもりを感じていたい。
Our eyes met and we kissed for the first time in a while. When I ended up in the underworld, I thought we'd never see each other again. But we did. In that moment, everything else faded and we cherished our kiss. When we kissed, we suddenly felt more conscious of my powers as a demon. Is she stronger than him now? I would imagine so if he, lost a lot of his power with that eye. Until now, I had always received energy from Allan, but after he sacrificed his eye, his demonic powers had weakened. Now it is my turn to give. Oh, he finally gets to do that. She really enjoyed it the last time. It made Allan super embarrassed. I put my arm around his neck and our tongues danced together as I transferred some of my power to him. Allan caught his breath as he felt the energy flow into him.
リネット、何を
I want to give back some of your powers, Allan.
返すって。
You lost a lot of your powers, right? So, Allan, come here.
リネット。
Come here, Allan. The meant to be. I want you to take power from me.
でも、あんまり君からもらったら。
Well, then I guess she'll just come visit you in your dream, right? But you've been weakened, Allan, so that's why I want to share. I reached to kiss him again, noticing a tremor in his shoulders. I share my demonic power through the intimate connection of a kiss, a means of nourishing him. He gave me powers to help me survive, and now I wanted to return the favor. More, Allan.
リネット。リネット。
It gave me a shiver. I don't like it. Our murmurs echoed in the cave as I continued to channel my energy into him.
ごめん。もらってばっかりで。でも、今の俺じゃ、君を守れない。だから、ごめん。
You are forced to accept her powers. Don't apologize. You're the one who has given me so much for more than a century. I'll be fine. Now it's my turn to give. Please take more.
君の力をもらうよ。
I ran my fingers through his hair as I continued to give him my power. There was no one here, so it didn't matter how I gave it to him. We lost ourselves in each other, every touch, every taste, every shared a moment of pleasure. We were in our own world, enjoying every moment. In this cave, with no storm or wind, we couldn't tell if any gods or demons could be outside. No, we didn't care. We focused on each other, so we didn't have to think about what was happening. All that could be heard was the sounds we made and the water droplets falling from the ceiling of the cave. It was an intense, raw, and primal experience that connected us on a level beyond mere existence. Well, at least they're just, talking about it now instead of, voice acting it out. Okay, I was worried about the CG we're about to get. There's a spicy in CG, right? Yeah, there is. Okay, but it's not their intense, raw, primal existence. That's good. We don't need one to rival the one that was in Jupiter's root. Years later, the war between the demons and the gods had finally ended, leaving deep wounds on both sides.
Kanpai!
Oh, they're in the demon realm?
Yahoo! 悪魔たちの勝利だ!
So the demons won, Celestia fell.
サタン様、万歳!
We ventured back to Lost York and found demons celebrating openly. We reunited with Claris, and the three of us were shocked to see so many demons in the human realm.
はあ、本当にやりきっちゃったのね、サタンたち。
驚いたな。
Yeah, actually. What happened to Chi? Not only were there demons present, but I also saw Chi burnt to a crisp. Isn't that Chi? I mean, she's not gonna let Chi be harmed. What's going on here?
多分、神という立場をサタンが奪ったんだろう。
Oh?
つまり、神様全員打点しちゃったってわけね。
Is this really going to be okay?
平気じゃない？人間界に特に影響はなさそうだし。ま、悪魔と契約しちゃう人間は増えそうだけど。
Chi looked mortified as I carried him. Aww. We don't have a good relationship anymore. Hi, Chi. It's been a while. He is not happy with you. He wiggled his tiny legs to try and get away, but he soon realized he couldn't get away and went limp. And now he's been diminished to a little tiny animal. Hey, don't stress. You're still cute even if you look a little bit burnt.
ねえねえ、リネット。この黒くなった真珠、使い魔にしちゃえば？
Don't. Please don't. Don't subject Jupiter to be a familiar. I'm not gonna like that at all.
ああ、いいかもな。放っておいたら悪魔に食べられそうだ。
Has to be willing though, right? She has to agree. Chi overheard us, startled, and flew away. Wait, Chi. Ah, he's gone. I hope he finds a safe spot. That's good. Like, I like Jupiter. I would not like to see him being subjected to a demon's pact. Like, that would be a dishonor to him as a god. Like, I mean, Lynette's nice, but at least she was spared that.
マーズやヴィーナスも打点したとはいえどこかにいるだろうし、保護はしてもらえるだろう。
I hope so. Mom and Dad have also fallen. As a result, their skin became less fair. Even Mom messaged me about it, but she didn't sound too upset. It's true that the human realm hasn't really changed. I expected there to be chaos now that there were no gods, but was surprised by how little had changed. It was like humans had no need for the gods' interference. I had always believed that. But even if the gods were no more, demons still existed. I know, they're just gonna like eat humans like non-stop now. That couldn't be good for the human realm. Yeah, it's all gonna go downhill from here. Allan felt the same. Months went by since the end of the war between Celestia and Hell. Allan had taken on the role of policing lesser demons in Lost York. Demons that caused harm to humans were kicked out. Allan protected the people. That's a big job, man. Oh my goodness. What is this? I just can't. Like, what is this? I thought Rouse was bad, but I just can't. He looks like a pirate with a pipe. He's like a cross between a pirate and a mafia boss. Her tongue is sticking out. I can't take this game seriously anymore. I mean, I've never been able to take this game seriously, but this is whatever. Like, do I use this scene? I could. It's either you get this one or you get the one with Allan as a boy. And I mean, obviously something's going to be wrong. You're going to be able to tell that something's wrong. Or I could use the one with the angels. You know what? You might just have to use the one with the angels. That gives away the least amount of things. Anyway. During his patrols, I sit on his lap and we'd kiss. His kiss had a bittersweet taste. During his patrols, like, he's not going anywhere, so how are you sitting on his lap while he patrols? It was the taste of a demonic smoking pipe that produced a particular scent. The scent caused demons to flee. When they caught a whiff of it, they knew that Allan, the greater demon, was near. We relocated our home back to the human realm to assume our new role as protectors. I can't take you as serious protectors in that outfit, oh my goodness. As expected, Satan was devouring humans left and right. Other demons simply followed suit. There were no more gods to stop them. Only Allan stepped in to try and suppress those demons.
待って。今君が俺に力を渡した？
Was I not supposed to? I grinned, teasing him a little. He needed powers to maintain the demons, so I helped him out.
仕方のない子だ。
That's not what he said though, but okay. I kissed him again, wrapping my arms around him. We continued to give and receive in this peaceful coexistence. It seemed like the right way for a demon couple to live, except we protected humans as well. Allan and Incubus delivered good dreams to humans. I wondered if he could truly be called a demon. Good dreams. Is it like good dreams, or is it actual peaceful dreams? It would be odd to call him a god. No, I'm sure that we could ascend to that someday. Oh. You guys will be the new gods of Celestia. The humans would be none the wiser.
そろそろ見回りの時間だな。
Can I come?
君も？
Yes, I want to be with you, Allan.
わかった。いいよ。一緒に行こうか。
Allan's good eye glimmered as he scanned for nearby demons. By devouring lesser demons who tried to eat humans, we grew stronger. We did not belong to any faction, but still found happiness with each other and our loved ones. Hand in hand, we spread our wings. Together, we protected Lost York and its residents. One day, we might obtain peace. Oh my goodness, spicy end. I don't know about that. That was such a strange end. It was such a strange end. I mean, yeah, the war happened. Demons won, sure, that's fine. But now, I mean, he's like, I don't know. He's like kind of like Satan's equal. Satan's doing whatever he pleases, and Allan is trying to protect humans as best he can. He can't protect humans from Satan because Satan's too powerful, so Satan gets to go unchecked. Anyone else, he's like punishing them. And now he's like the secret, like, protector of humans that maybe one day will ascend to godhood. It's so strange. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Whatever. It's a game. But now we're like, I mean, it's going to be cut down, but I'm at 3 hours and 29 minutes of recording. Like, this episode's going to be like 3 hours, 15 minutes long. It's going to be so long. I apologize for you guys who cannot watch it in its entirety right off the bat. Like, that's how I decided to break up my episodes from the very beginning. The Indies video has its own, and it was long. It was very long. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. We have one more episode left. We have Allan's bonus episodes. And then we are done with Cupid Parasite, Sweet and Spicy Darling. A year later, Cupid Parasite will have finally come to an end. It's both happy and sad at the same time. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.